fire blazing.
What? Yeah, my artist them I sing people. Hey, I'll be a musician boy, you know, I'm put me, you know.
Yeah.
I'll be a musician. Good night. Yeah, man, good night. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is the Titans. Hey, tonight, people, make sure you eat already, you know. Can be a fire we are blaze on tonight, you know. And we see something from the land is poll. I drop out. Me know Holness now go like it, but we are telling this long time, brothers. We are telling this. Say, listen, them for fire him. 62% about them poll just now. I say, listen, him for step down as the leader. That means, you know, they don't want him as a prime minister. Well, nobody never want him as a prime minister. They lie, rub off, you know. The clocks done, you know. Not true, brothers?
Yes, man.
Yeah, man.
And you know the thing of Wayne, as it relates to the 62% there. When we look on the 62%, it's really devastating. But one of the things that you have to look on, that okay, 62%, right? Definitely not wanting him. Now the remaining percentage, right,
Yes.
which is roughly about 38%.
Yes.
Now remember that a portion out of that 38%, you know, may want him, and you're still going to have, right, a portion out of that 38% might be just undecided, right? So when you look at that, really and truly, it is so crippling for the Prime Minister. And we will say that as it relates to those who might be undecided, right, between now and then, right, if we reflect, if we go back to that poll within the next month or two, right, you're going to have it grow. Because when we're done with him, you know, when we finish with him, you know, trust me, because guess what? One of the things that we are not going to leave alone is the SSL, because we are going to show the people the criminal he is, right? And the entire clandestine plan, you understand, that they had to effect and execute SSL. It is really despicable as it relates to, you know, how they planned and executed. It goes to show that the Prime Minister has no respect, has no regards, right? And we are just not talking about Bolt alone. We are talking about an elderly lady, right, as it relates to 78 years of age, where they actually ravish this old woman's savings. Just think of that, you know, right? And make all the effort, right, to deceive the nation. And the most hurtful thing of this is the extreme effort that they made to cover it up and also allow Hugh Croskery, right, who is the primary person, right, to leave Jamaica untouched and without not even being questioned, right, as much to say interrogated, right, where they know that Hugh Croskery is the primary person in all of this. And Andrew Holness, because we are going to call it for what it is, because it is that. Andrew Holness and Hugh Croskery, right, collided, right, collaborated, right, do all the plan to execute such a viciousness on the people of Jamaica. I think where it reached right now today, Andrew Holness, right, if he had any shame at all, but obviously we are dealing with someone who is narcissistic, right? He does not have any shame. He's a shameless person, right? If it was me, honestly, as a human being and have any form of any sense of what moral look like and have even a quarter of that, honestly, I would step down. The man has the biggest heart. Me give him that. To go in parliament and still want to campaign and look in the very people eyes, right, who they pilfered. Because it is not Bolt alone that he pilfered. Remember, he took the NHT money. He took the NIS money. He took the head tax money, right, and put all of that in it. So then, I mean, where is Andrew Holness going in terms of talking about economic plan and economic growth? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? Number one, if you're going to talk about economic growth to move a nation forward, one of the main industry that you need to look on, right, is education. The main item is education, because when you educate your people, right, you're talking about future technocrats, right? People who are going to have the critical thinking skills, right? People who are going to, make informed decisions. You're going to focus on your agriculture and so forth. Andrew Holness focus on none of that. I can tell you that the entire staff of Andrew Holness, the entire administration, focusing on pilfering from the treasury. And I heal back for our next title.
No, man, so I start the program right now. That's
so the program started. Are you going already?
Can you imagine an be each road here? Look at that. Titans, no two way about it. 1 a.m.
Start packing because you are going.
Yeah, we just a chip in, man. So light Titan, before I knock in that, let me just show this. And then come over show the people them this now. I put it up on the screen. And then we could just knock in and we could discuss that thing here. Yes, this is Holness. Holness, this are you, yeah? That's how we not watch thing. We deal with real polls on here. We can put up this on the screen. People can see that. They can read that. Should Andrew Holness continue as leader of the JLP?
That looks beautiful.
IC certification. Look on the now, people. You see the now? Look on him, yes. So this time look at people. When you have a no, remember anything over 50, 51, you don't lose, But when you have 62%, 62 point that, it done. No opinion, and then no opinion that go over there too, so it don't help him. This alone, you smell danger, them for moving. We say must him depend on the ballot. We can mash up the JLP party. No two way about it. No two way. You're saying on it, Lily.
Well, that graphic look very, very honest in terms of where the people mental focus is on now. They need a change. But it also look despicable because it shows that nobody knowing him right now. It's like him out on the sea adrift. Because I see recently where it looked like him and the entire 48 Alibaba where him have run him become disenfranchised with running the country properly. They are more now focusing on disturbing people peace and them space, in a violent, environment. So the leadership quality from long time we know so well that it has, evaporate. Because a raw government we are looking on, Yeah, man, a raw government that has so much high-level corruption attached to it. You understand? And I mean the corruption, go far and wide. From education right back to the, public funds. So we're looking at all the health sector with them cripple and demoralize, that now it come under level 3 and level 4 from the United States. So this government, should just pack it back and go as the sheriff said, because the people them have spoken in volume. When you look at 62% not in favor of him being the leader of his party, it tell you, the electorate, the voters have made up their mind in no uncertain manner. You have a further 9% that is undecided. So if you combine that with the 62, it over 71%. That what can he do with 29%? So we see we start to create a lot of, problem, even in Parliament. Draw for some people where them have no qualification to represent people in even the Senate. Like, some man with big broad back, warthog. Them man they are Senapod, man. Them man they are not Senate. Them are Senapod. You understand? Them come to run the people and belly in Jamaica, with corruption, A Senapod them there. So you see a party that is disintegrating day by day, high level of crime within the society, none more so than the JCF member them, actually committing a statistic of more than one per day killing at the hands of the policemen. And when you look, there's nothing coming from the government, as to what is the solution to reduce that killing by the JCF member. Nothing coming from the Minister of National Security. Nothing coming from the Commissioner of Police. And we see them draft your little man, Richard Stewart. Yeah? How can you have a man like that with him name tarnished alongside a dead squad, but you carry him come now as the acting commissioner? No, man, this government dilapidated, man. So right now the people want change. The people want about them sweet, sweet Jamaica. Them people have made Jamaica becomes bitter right across the world. People just are listening to Jamaican business and it's not good. You can imagine your Prime Minister collect 143,000 US, 22 million Jamaican dollars, and nobody else to get back the money. But people put in the money, but you can't see no profile account with him at the put no money in this Ponzi scheme, where man and friend them orchestrate, mash up some people, none more so than Granny, 78-year-old senior citizen, lose all our money in them Ponzi scheme, and nobody from within the government for showing compassion or showing sympathy toward this lady and do the right thing and give back the lady her money. 60 million Jamaican dollars. A Ponzi scheme that has been approved by the Prime Minister and his associate. So we're seeing a Prime Minister that has no care toward the citizens in Jamaica. Because this is a Prime Minister that also, talk about high salary must be awarded to these men. Because that is the reason why they're not working. But since them get the high salary, them worse than our work. A jerk, we see them a jerk, all over the place. Carrying out some unnecessary practice. Trying to divide up some place into two parish in one. Causing mayhem in a society. So no wonder that the poll show a significant decline in his popularity. And when him not have no popularity, because the man will love popularity, him become the St. Franchise with politics. Because right now him not sleeping well at night. He made hurting him because there's a serious court case hanging over his head. And he's fully aware of that. A Prime Minister from 2021, no declaration when him submit cannot be certified. I don't think him submit this last one, yeah. Because as I see, I want more from him more than him there in court, That's all I want from him, because when you don't take a statutory declaration from him this time. This man is a criminal in the society. And him wreak havoc on Jamaica. Mash up everything in Jamaica. Run with to a recession. Destroy the educational level. The standard drop. 18% of the students could get 5 CXC subjects. And what can go so when these men are sitting on a mountain of cash? That's what them friend Big Mama said. Big nasty thinking mama. Him tell we, so them sitting on a mountain of cash. Yeah? And that mountain of cash come from one of the era where the money cannot be traced. that $3 trillion. Yeah, because how can a country that is suffering at the hands of borrowing and having to pay back high interest rate, but you have man sit down for a mountain of cash? That can't be real. So we have to get to the bottom of this debacle where we say, I suppress the people in Jamaica. Yeah? And we have to motivate the people, and because we're in the crunch time now, you know. This is the time of decision. This is the year of election. And we have to make sure our people are ready. When we say ready to take on the journey, to deliver the victory to the People's National Party, to give we a good leader, yeah, in the form of Mark Jefferson Golden, to give with some good MP that will see him assemble. We can go out there now and start change the people life in the community. The life can't be done to the people up in the hills, you know. 5% of people now make up Jamaica, you know. And more so them to contribute the amount of tax where the massive contribute, you know. So them people are fleeced from the masses. And this is what we have to talk about. Because if you notice them create them wealth for themselves and them create them law for themselves, that have to change. Out of one, many people are that to say. So everything have to come back around the table, you know. No boy can't run off with the loot. When the sheriff come in town, every loot have to come back around the table. And I yield back to another member of the panel.
You know, Melting Pot, I want to just make it 2 more minutes away.
Yes.
I want to speak, just expound on something that you mentioned and which, you know, you rightly stated. Now, when you look on Jamaica economy, and I want to use a comparison, right? A comparison as it relates to Burkina Faso.
And then when you
Yes, continue.
Yes, a comparison as it relates to Burkina Faso, right? In terms of what Ibrahim Traoré do. Ibrahim Traoré is currently, right, the Prime Minister or President for Burkina Faso. And one of the things that he had done, knowing to the fact that Burkina Faso, right, has a better economy than us, you know. But what Burkina Faso, what Ibrahim Traoré had done was to reduce the politician pay by 30%. And you know what? He gave 50% to civil workers. Because this is how he's thinking about the people and his country, how to drive production and drive better benefits and interests for the masses of the people. Reduce the politician pay 30%. Now let us look at a vampire like this, a Dracula like this, a Andrew Holness, who claimed that now he's now asking people and beg people for third term. What he had done, he know that Jamaica is a very fragile economy. Fragile economy being struggling. Right? Remember, you know, what Portia Simpson had done, you know, right, in terms of take a wreck economy from Bruce Golden, right, and struggle, Portia Simpson and Peter Phillips, struggle with the economy, right, and put back the economy and part, right, to seek, you know, upward mobility for the masses. What this government had done today, right, is go into the reverse. Is a 180 degrees as it relates to Portia Simpson progress. A 180 degrees, right? We are going into the opposite direction, right? We have seen an economy, you understand, in recession. We have seen an economy, right, lost ground by 3.5%. And I am saying, in spite of Andrew Holness, right, and the corruptors in his administration, know very well that the economy is fragile. They said, you know what? We want 200 and 300% raise. And the liar, the deceiver that he is, right? He told the Jamaican people that when you pay them more, you will get better performance. Now let us look as it relates to the better performance of those people, right? You have seen none of that. No improvement. As a matter of fact, things get rather worse. So Andrew Holness seeking a third term is a laugh at. is absolutely a laugh at. It's a scorn, right, to the Jamaican people. And I think that he believed that, you know, he might possess the gift of gabble or whatever it is, and he think he can articulate, and he think he has the power to turn it up and turn it down, as he mentioned in the parliament. Let me tell you something. He's fooling himself. Andrew Holness is fooling himself. And the thing is, you know, right? They are in a fire. They are totally in a fire circle because they cannot let loose of Andrew Holness going into the general election. Because who are they going to put there? Who are they going to put there? They can't put Tufton there.
If I put them can't, it don't make no sense, brother.
This is a situation. This is a situation of right, as it relates to every single person, right, in the Andrew Holness led administration, right, is so damaged. They are all damaged goods. You don't have one person who can replace Andrew Holness. So what we are telling Jamaica, really and truly, this is a truthful objective, right, of me telling Jamaica that we need to make sure that Jamaica Labour Party, right, put into the rear view mirror, right, and never venture into Jamaica politics. They are not to, because let me say this to the Jamaican people. When we look on the history of the Jamaica Labour Party, and we look at 1980, we are talking about good governance, government who care for the people. What JLP had done in 1980 in terms of having over 150 elderly persons put to a fiery grave to seek political mileage. People should have distanced themselves from Jamaica Labour Party from then. But I guess you have, you know, some people just have myopic view, right? Jamaica Labour Party is not really a party that is going to move in progress. Everything that People's National Party had done, if you've looked the history and follow the history, you see that they do it in reverse. They are for the neo-colonialists. They are for crony capitalism. They are a set of criminals. I am not going to put it less than that, without no apology. They are a set of criminals. You have the history, we show the history that from 1954 until we speak, the Jamaica Labour Party is ravishing, right? The Jamaican society. The Jamaican people cannot strive under a Jamaica Labour Party administration under no circumstances. So am I surprised seeing a 62%? The only surprise I have, right, we should have seen a 95 and 98%, right? Now, as I said, the Jamaica Labour Party is a disgrace to Jamaica, a total disgrace to Jamaica. And the worst of the worst is SSL. And that is the reason why under Jamaica Labour Party administration, you will never ever see the Crawl report. Remember, I know them, I read them. You understand? And I know very well that if they reveal the Crawl report and highlight persons who the Crawl investigators mentioned to be charged, it is going to be chaos for them politically. It is going to be a political suicide for all of them. So let me ask Jamaica Labour Party something. If you want to be truthful to the Jamaican people, if you want transparency, you want balance, right? Standard ethics, right? Moral compass. I don't know why I use them the two words with JLP because I don't really work with JLP. But anyway, I'm going.
Continue.
Yes. So when you look at these persons, when you look at these issues, right, that Jamaica Labour Party lack ethics, right, lack moral compass. I mean, it's a party that full time now, they all need to creep up themselves. Creep up themselves, man. You understand? Put in a one garbage truck and go down a Riverton City and just go dump off down there. And I yield back.
Yes, man. All right. So we have the chuck in the people. We have the chuck. But hear this now. Andrew Holness run the country to a wreck that we in a recession. I will have Richard Piles. Me know now say a Biles in name, but a pile. You know, when you have pile, them have cause him a pile, you know. Him a pile of rubbish. Richard Piles. Come and him admit it. But him a
Pastor
put
Ricky,
it
yes,
a
sir.
illegal way because it's him a use him head. Pastor Ricky, we're gonna mash them up and you're gonna
Yes.
bless them through the same way.
I
You know.
just got off
So
my
we
live.
go
I have
now.
a question, man, but I'm here.
All right.
All right.
Greetings.
Yes, man.
Blessings,
So
my
we
brother.
mash them up. Pastor Ricky, bless them. And you know, we not ramp with them, we on your son. We on your son name the Titans, can. We on your son.
All
Just
right.
this. We and them can't be friends. Them a mash up Jamaica, we have to straighten and take it back from them. We and them no friend. All right. So hear this now, people. That's why I want to born Big Mama too, you know. Can't let out Big Mama. Now I'll show you what Andrew do. The last election, when them they think the election when them know they buy BUY election, not BY, you know. BUY. Can I remember
Yes.
I pay a vote and think them buy. Zinca kind of little thing. Can't help them. It can't help PSOJ. We are real, you know, warriors from the burial of the people. So when we talk, people listen. Right? Remember, Big Mama come out and come say this. Can I show you say it in a recession, you know? I'm going to show you right now. But before I show you, yeah, remember, I'm going to show you the recession right now. In a recession. And but before I show you, remember this a Big Mama, you know? This a Big Mama saying, hear this now. Hear this.
And I want you to think with me. Which government seeking a third term in office has the kind of record of achievement and performance that the Holness administration has? None. They're sitting on a mountain of cash and they have performed enviably well in managing the economy.
Oh, that was a lie, you know, people.
Garbage.
That was a lie. Remember, you know, sit on for a mountain of
Oh
cash.
my
Government broke. Some article very couldn't broke. You kind of spend the money out there and get money. Okay? This is what let me tell you, the Big Mama them lead on astray. Fish Headless, Drives Davis, Big Mama, What Ag, Bradback. Lead people astray. No more PR runner. Here Andrew now with film thing, with raise of money. Hear this.
So well that it can give you a salary increase without worrying that next year you're going to get wage freeze. And that is why, Madam Speaker, it burned me when I hear the nonsense that people talking. No other government has done that. And all the lies and misinformation
Yeah.
that is being spewed by the political entrepreneurs. You hear what the member said over there? He said, oh, this sounds like 2015. Madam Speaker, let it be well known that this Prime Minister has the ability, anytime I feel to turn it on, to get back in the public domain and let the people know that we will not be misled.
God. Send him
Because
outside.
while they are out there spreading lies and misinformation, we were busy working.
And you know, some player, him contradict himself when him tell the kids them say. I play it, right? When him tell us him not spend no money and not do nothing. Big Mama say him have a mountain of cash. Maybe hear where the BOJ governor say right now. Just listen.
Technically speaking, 2 consecutive quarters qualifies as a recession. However,
Technically speaking, two concession qualify. Technically speaking, it's a recession.
Yeah. Two
Yeah,
consecutive quarters. Yeah.
2 consecutive quarters of recession. Okay?
Yeah.
as a recession. However, there are other factors that you would expect to support.
But by the way, you know, when we talk about other factor you expect, remember, you know, we show you the quarter them when we decline, we show you other the quarter them from backside, but everything decline. So there is no quarter when we talk about other thing it don't make no sense, brother. Don't we show you everything? Service, Everything done.
Yeah, we look on the table. We look on the table.
Everything done. So when I talk, it's not really valid. When I try to make Andrew feel good. We in a recession. Can't tell me nothing. I even tell you about backside. But she said it done by 17.5. No
remember them wipe out the levy off of the backside completely.
Yes, and then mass it up. Continue.
The direction of a recession, and we don't see them present. And in that sense, I say,
I'm not telling no, we know. Him say we not see it present, right? But yes, still, I'm going to tell you where them there. And I said them going to come up back. See? So hear this.
let us just watch to see what those mean. In addition, I think we can all agree that Hurricane Beryl and the heavy rains that followed a month or two later would have impacted.
That makes sense? Them say them pay for that. The people them have to fix them thing themselves. I just sent Elizabeth. In a matter of fact, Andrew them come out and say the way them bounce back quick, them get 22,000 and 20,000 back to workers. Not that them do.
Yeah, but Wayne, hold on there. Remember, we have to tell the people them that the economic began declining before Beryl, you know.
We know that. So we're going to show them that. We know. So we're going to say, he want to blame Beryl now.
Yeah.
And the little water. But yes, still, Andrew just say, well, maybe just play him now worry that him can give raise up here. Because the economy will. I mean, yeah, Big Mama say, them sit on pan amount na cash. Me I want them for monopoly money, you sit on pan. But it can't be real money. See? Well, Andrew, yes, Andrew sit on pan amount na cash, him and his wife. And a couple more of them. Not the Jamaican people then. Not the economy. Him say them sit on pan amount na the Andrew Holness state government sit on pan amount na cash. Them sit on pan amount na cash. Him know what I'm talking about, you know. Not the economy doing a Byron.
Exactly.
Not like that, Pastor Vicky. No.
You know, you ever tell you all the while, man. Him tell you say, him technically tell you say Andrew sit down on a bag of money, you know.
That's him saying.
Oh, Andrew get the money, we don't know.
All right.
That we want Big Mama to come tell we.
Certainly with agriculture, but also with, say, mining, where, as you probably know, the export port had to be moved offshore. Or
That means, you know, we session, even if you move it offshore, but a 24-hour people, we must say, Monga try to get Andrew and leeway, but listen him again. So I must tell you, say it in a recession, you know. He must find all kind of fault, the mining. The man, them give it a levy. They not drop the levy, Byron.
Yes, definitely.
Wipe it out clean, man.
Gotcha.
closed down. Same thing with the petroleum business had to be locked down.
That's a foolishness again. We are doing 90 million with Trinidad right now. 90 million. Feel like them are sell it back to ship. For some shipping. Not using them domestic, not a domestic thing, but 90 million US contract. For sell them back the iron where them are used for the ship, like other ship will come out there. So when my talk say, the petrol down the lockdown, lockdown, just when Beryl did a pass lockdown there and then open back the next day.
It would have impacted construction too. So
I must say, although himself look at something he might tell about construction, no. Another thing impact construction, Governor Piles. No. People don't have the money for buy nothing. Or if you buy a house, buy when you now work, good doctor and nurses can buy it. When you sell house for 40 million and them now sell them money, them they not get them money. Then most of them are, all right, the police force have most constable. Them have money for buy a house.
But wait, the truth be told, you understand, the masses of the people can't even afford basic food items. What's in the buy a house?
So if you buy
basic food items, what's in the buy a house?
So if you put some money in a construction where you have bill in a real estate, or you're gonna sell them there. Blacks are still gonna stand up on you. So in final kind of things we in a recession. But Big Mama say them still on a mountain of cash. Them in a jail. Something right, don't it?
Exactly.
But if you listen to this guy, you know, I shit this guy come out and tell me, you know, this guy I was deliberately sent out by the Iraq. Because listen now, him can't report to Beryl, you know. Beryl never last a week, you know.
No, I said 24 hours.
But the thing contract for 2 quarters. That is
24 hours.
That is the mind of the matter. 2 quarters the economy contracted for. It never grow.
Listen, when him say Beryl, at 24 hours people, you remember you only know and it come back. And matter of fact, the guy say we have insurance and him not give the people them the money. And him say we bounce back that thing give 20,000 to workers. Because them that look vote 20,000. These are the way where them do a mash up the thing. A matter of fact, they move the thing the pan horse. Can't remember them. It's a government of horses. Them love horses, you know.
Yeah, man,
Them
I'm
love
gonna take all
horses more than
the
them wife.
them
Them
take
like
all the tax,
horses.
you know.
So
Duty
you know,
free.
government and the PSO them. So them give concession on the ask. They move the GCT and back.
Duty. Yeah. Them take all the GTC.
They move them thing there, yeah? The way, yes. All right. Continue.
Even if we are in technical recession, we will come out of it.
Yeah, what I'm saying again? We can't win a recession. You see, you can't get there, you know. But remember, we have to, what I'm saying? All right.
All right.
So, one of this. You say, we never in a recession, him that does come and say, no, we are doing okay, and this is our surplus, and that. No, you know what I'm saying?
But listen, me now, we are on panel. There is no such recession as technical recession. You're either in a recession or you're out of recession.
Perfect, right, melting pot. Perfect.
That's why technically it's a
There's
recession.
no technical recession.
There's no technical recession.
You know, Byron,
It's a garbage.
technical, it's a recession, you know. Technical
Yes.
is a recession. You understand?
You would have to define. You would have to define
Maybe
what is
even
technical
if we are in
recession.
technical recession, we will come out of it pretty quickly. So the point, Durant,
Yeah, not pretty quickly, but I saw quickly.
is this. What is
All right, yes, I'm stopping, I think.
Yes.
Look
so the
at
point, Durant, is this.
Look at him more, I think.
Is that like my plan to tell you, man?
That's
I
it.
want fun with him, you know. Hey, it come like Ligel Clark with the man
Exactly.
and then back.
Exactly.
Eh? Look poor thing, look on piles. Look at
Recession, we will come out of it
we
pretty
will.
quickly. So the point, Durant, is this. What is the conclusion do we draw from these 2 quarters of a recession? Is it that the sky is falling, or is it that there are some other factors that may be pointing to that it is only temporary and we can come out of it?
And we can come over, I don't know because we in a recession. So listen, all right, let me tell you up front, everything that normal and money I make, and we have money, that does come and say, no, we are good. We have this. I remember in a recession, no, I can't tell you, say, the government have 5 point add in a reserve. That now not to do the recession. He can't touch that. That me I try to tell them before, you know. When they know that about sitting on the mountain, I catch it bullshit. Bullshit. Yes. See? So when they say come out tight, right? Yeah.
don't know, but I'm saying let's watch and see.
Unless if we don't in a recession, you know watch and see, Byron, Pastor Vicky, him just tell me, all right. Let me tell you, that's why we have critical thinkers. Him just tell me, say we in a recession, you know. So when I try to do him, I want it so, but him I tell you, know, just use the word technical recession. So we are going to come out tight. So let's watch and see. Well, this guy, like him, I say, don't get panic because this guy no fall down. So I don't know, but we come out tight. Let's watch out.
But all them phrase the wrong because sky never fall down.
Yeah. So you see what I want to know. You must say, get over here and it'll make it worse. So just calm. We will come out tight.
And I agree that there are some risks out there that could have a profound effect on the economy. We need to see those risks play out a little bit more before we call it.
There is nothing can call. Nothing. That name's full-blown recession here. 2 consecutive thing there is a straight recession.
But remember me, I tell them from October, from the ending of September going into October, you know. Me I beat it, I tell them to the country heading for a recession. Yeah? They must have wonder what kind of economist melting pot be. Because I saw that the country was heading head on into a recession.
Yeah.
You understand? Because of all the things that was happening in Jamaica, it points to a recession.
No,
Because if you
we're telling say it's a recession. And them
yes.
I want to speak. Well, I'm not but I want to speak something, but you know, I'm going to hear something from Pastor Ricky.
Yes,
Pastor Ricky, what is your view?
Yeah, thank you. As Bob Marley said, you can fool some people sometime, but you can't fool all the people all the time. That press conference he gives is full of contradictory statements. And we knew based upon what Statin, which is a government agency, reported in the second quarter, which is the period from April 1st.
Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Teddy, let me tell you this. It fool like under your poor and your man. Yes. He's a piece of shit. Yeah, man. But for a flush, he's a piece of shit. Yeah? Yes. Yeah, man. I have to stop walk and rape to, yeah? He's a piece of shit. Continue. Yeah, man.
Yeah, we knew from the period, the second period last year, which is the period from April 1st to June 30th, the economy flatlined 0.02%, according to Statin, a government agency, which revealed that the economy was in trouble. The criminal prime minister failed policies. His economical policies never trickled down to the people. He did not stimulate any type of growth in the economy. Every sector crashed in the second period. Go back and look at Statin website. That's the period again, because they're trying to blame Beryl, and we know Beryl is not the cause of the recession. It's the prime minister failed economical policies, along with Nigel Clark's failed economical policies. From April 1st, first of all, in the first period, the economy shrank to 1.4% growth, which is weak growth. And remember, they promised 5 and 4, right? 5% for 4 quarters, or 4 years. It never 4 years. It never materialized. It never happened because they don't know how to manage the economy. And so 1.4% growth from January 1st to March 31st is a weak growth. It's just limping, on one leg. And then the second period, April 1st to June 30th, it flatlined 0.02%. As a matter of fact, the IMF put out a statement that says that all the Caribbean countries that experienced burial, Haiti and Jamaica was the only 2 Caribbean countries that declined economically and that hasn't recovered. And so what he's saying is a fabricated to polish up something that is evident. So when you took the second quarter that ends June 30th, that quarter ends 3 days before Beryl passed. Beryl never had a direct impact on Jamaica. Beryl came 45 miles south of Jamaica. So it never hit Jamaica head on, So the third quarter, July 1st to September 30th, that includes Beryl. And the economy was already flatlined the period before Beryl. So when you put the second quarter from April 1st to June 30th, and then the third quarter, which include Beryl from July 1st to September 30th, that's 2 straight quarters of negative growth. So that tells you and I that the economy. I have an MBA, master's in business, and I don't like to brag on myself, but I took economics in my undergrad degree, which is in management, and my master's degree, which is an MBA in finance. So based upon the second and the third quarter, the economy had 2 quarters of negative growth, which put the economy in a recession from September. That's when the economy, if anybody know anything about economics, the economy has been in a recession since September. And to compound that, Beryl came to Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines and devastate the island, and they bounced back economically. Beryl hit St. Lucia, hit some part of Barbados, hit some part of Trinidad and Tobago, and everybody bounced back. Beryl came to Jamaica, hit some part of Cuba, it went to America, devastate America. Everywhere Beryl went, recover except Haiti and Jamaica. Why? Because they had bad economical management, bad fiscal management of the economy. Yeah.
Very long touch, and them say it. Them go touch with it. You can South Coast, just St. Elizabeth really get a little
Southwest.
Yes.
All right,
Yeah.
and operational. So them a tell lie and Beryl. Because remember them come out and them get 20,000 back, to get vote, in September, right? Them come and give back people, say them have enough money and them are going good. And remember, Ligel come out and honest them to say them have insurance. And then economically we box back and pay that in both span.
Yeah.
And Big Mama run out and say all these kind of things. So the burial, me leave burial out, I follow them.
Burial is not involved in the economy.
Yes, burial never impact Jamaica like that neither.
Yeah, it flatlined before burial came. So the second quarter is the most significant quarter. Look at the second quarter, the period from April 1st to June 30th. If anybody know anything about economics, that's when the economy shows signs of serious weakness and in trouble. It started from the first period, but the second quarter confirms the signs of the first period. And so that the second quarter ends June 30th, 3 days before burial came. So pure item at it.
Pure.
And then one last point, Father Lonesome. The fourth quarter, Staten hasn't put out the figure yet, but the Planning Institute says that the economy declined again by 1.9%. You don't measure the economy based upon decline. You measure the growth of the economy based upon the projection of the growth or the decline in terms of negative growth of the economy. So the Trump policies in America right now is going to affect the first quarter of this year, fiscal year 2025. The ends next month, March 31st. And when the figures comes out in April, it's going to show another decline in the economy for this first quarter this year. Why? Because Trump's policies is affecting remittances, it's affecting tourism, and those are two of the big sectors that is factor into the growth of the Jamaica economy. Agriculture is going to bounce back, and that's 7% of the economy, but it has not fully recovered yet. So expect this first quarter to decline again, and we will have 3 straight quarters of
3 consecutive
no growth.
No growth.
Right.
I just want to let them know that if you want to know when your economy is balanced, it has to be hovering about 2.5 to 3% GDP. Once it falls under those figures, you are looking at trouble ahead. When it get down to 1% and 1.4, you know, say you're in a serious trouble. And you see, when you drop a 0, as well Pastor Ricky said, you know you're gone. So I was watching the economy, That's why, as I said, at the ending of September to the beginning of October, I was saying it on this program that the country is heading for a recession. And lo and behold, that's what happened. Because the sectors that we have is not growing. The government have no idea how to grow a country.
No, they don't.
There is no infrastructure where growth is concerned in Jamaica. And this is why Jamaica cannot come out of the burial syndrome. Yeah? Every other country in the region bounce back. Jamaica still sinking. Simply because there is no economic growth in place to grow the country. All these people are relying on the service commission, yeah, from the industry, right? We can't have a country that is not growing, it's not dealing in production. We can't grow ourselves out of the slump that we are in. So the tax that they want to use as something to, show that Jamaica is growing. We cannot grow on tax.
But when you look at it, melting pot, and as they have,
I was tired after the Sigma run, and I.
All right, now I'll show you the man like I'm just to this, but continue.
Yeah, when you look on the economy as it relates to the status of our economy as it relates to the 3.5% decline that we are facing, of course, third quarter, right? Because that is going to add to that as well. Now, when you talk about in terms of, you know, the generating of foreign currency, right? And you have the tourism sector, right? Is one of the sector that generate most of our foreign currency. But while that is so, you will realize that the majority of the money that generated by tourism is not really circulating in our economy. I will say that more than 85% of what being generated by the tourism industry, right, is simply, right, and truthfully not being circulating in Jamaica. One of the focus is that the country has to go back to is to focus on agriculture, manufacturing, and all of that, right? The innovation and the skill set. But with a Jamaica Labour Party administration that seems to target our education system by pilfering from it, stifling, right, as it relates to our education system, that in itself, right, also help to cripple the economy. And while they are talking about, you know, certain factors that affect the economy, if you notice, right, that we are not speaking about the corruption, because to me, right, and Pastor Ricky, you do economy, I will tell you that the corruption level, the level of corruption, that within itself cause a shock in the economy. Now tell me about that.
Yeah.
Now tell me about that.
They spend
Because
120 million a year.
when you look on $3 trillion unaccounted for, if we could have accounted for that $3 trillion, right, and regardless of what the Andrew Holness administration is saying in terms of procurement, this and money not spent and then spinning up and try to spinning up people, understand? Mystic Sensation is saying it, and I am standing by my argument. That majority of that money been stolen, gone in their pockets. We have seen situations where it's some simple project. You understand? You're talking about simple project. The cost for those projects going over billions of dollars. Right? And you can't get any form of understanding as it relates to access to information. So then why would this government, if this government is going to talk about transparency, the jump portal used to allow us where we can, go onto the jump portal and see how contract being awarded, right? And see, the little details. But this government stop it. Because obviously they are thieves. They are criminals. They don't want you to know, right, in terms of, okay, how the money, you understand, reach into their pockets. The political kickback, the nepotism, the cronyism, the skullduggery, right? These are the factors, you understand, that, of course, would have now absorbed, right, as it relates to why we have 3 consecutive failure, right? So you have to speak on corruption. If we were able to eliminate corruption, Jamaica wouldn't have faced, right, what we call a 3.5 decline in negative growth.
Yeah.
But Baron,
yes.
I want to show you the 3.5, but may I show you the 1.8 to me have it in.
Yes.
So I'll show you that too. So remember, 3.5 there, so and then after this the one
a 5 point at it there.
1.8. I'm not show them back to back, but I want to show you Andrew Holness when just said no just last week.
Exactly.
And with this the country in a recession, in come and I tell you. So I'm gonna play more and play because dissect him. Can't lie,
Yeah, yes.
The people what we have to deal with.
And it's hurtful. Yes, it's hurtful, right, as it relates to the situation that the Jamaican people been experiencing. And as such, remember, you have the IMF austerity measures that's supposed to kick into the next budget, right? And all Jamaican people, how are they going to manage that, right? When the austerity measures start to reel out, it is going to trigger, right, higher inflation. So the cost of goods for basic goods and other items are going to increase.
Along with the dollar depreciation.
Because
Exactly.
remember, Andrew just tell me say them did have $300 and something billion where for pay up now, right? And him say him use 60 billion, and then him when the remortgage that, right? Him think that money we him have.
Yes.
Yeah. The loan when did have.
Refinance it.
Finance the loan, right? 300 billion, him say, right? Now I play it. Now go play it, brother. But I have to play my ear way, massive, because
Yeah, man, play.
I was tired after the Sigma run and I didn't want to exercise. Nevertheless, I decided to get up and go run 4 miles. It didn't feel good dragging myself out of bed, but I feel good now, And that is the effect of discipline. And that is how we have been with managing your economy.
Hey, this guy lying. Brother, please, make it 5 seconds. Let me address that 4 mile when run. The man run 4 mile and you can't look on him t-shirt with him have on. That now wet if you run 4 mile, you see the sweating of that. And the guy about it, The man lying, This is good guy. The clip of go and run. Hold on up, the clip of go and run. I want to look which part on him t-shirt have sweat. That little small part.
Hey,
I've seen reports about recession and contracted budgets. It is confounding to some that the government in an election year is not making fantasy promises and projecting wild run with its spending with the goodie bag, as was the practice in the past.
Not even one sweat, but the man I'm just 1 4 mile and a
hold on, melting pot. You run 4 miles.
This is a profound
4 miles.
Perspiration. Where the perspiration?
Hey,
Where's the perspiration?
the guy lie.
He just lie.
And then I don't know. When he come out with this now, he might try to show himself like him as a role model, like Jamaican, you need to get up and run because the prime minister. Nobody not believing that this piece of shit, yeah.
Hold on, the melting pot. After me tell the man, say, listen me. Picture talk, video talk. That's what, listen, we learn from the best, So we are looking at the background and the thing and look for everything and we are match up for your side, it no match. It's coming like our play on a mountain of cash. That no match neither. Look on the man, no him dry. Not even a sweat for run 4 miles.
Not even a sweat.
4 miles.
Jamaica hot, Jamaica is hot.
Under the sun.
Hey.
Yeah.
Look here. It is not like the man, you understand, is in a climate condition like we here in Canada.
Yeah.
Jamaica is a tropical climate, right? And trust me, you run at least 1 mile, you're going to be sweating like a pig.
And him a breathe to it, you come live. Him a breathe to it to the people. Him a breathe to it. So,
hey, man, play me come mash up him tonight, yeah, brother.
change in Jamaica. We can deliver the goodies without running with it. So don't get caught in misleading reports. The overall budget is smaller, yes, but government spending is higher. Recurrent expenditure, such as spending on social welfare, public sector wages, road repairs, and operating schools and hospitals, has increased by $32.6 billion, a 4% increase. Capital expenditure, such as on new roads or on the rehabilitation of roads under Spark, building hospitals, water systems, police stations, and classroom blocks to take schools off shift, is now $62.6 billion, an increase of about 1.4%. So then how is the budget smaller? Well, in the current budget, we had $317.3 billion of debt principal, which became due. We used $66 billion of our own resources towards paying down the debt, and we refinanced the rest.
So we're still wait, I was still have it. Ongo 66. It due 300 billion and then use 66. So when them refinance and how much we have pay upon that, them thing I help kill we out. So I'm going like it is something new. See him not pay the 300 billion, 66. Refinance the debt. The principal, due. Yeah, remember play it back. You have to listen to them.
How is the budget smaller? Well, in the current budget, we had $317.3 billion of debt principal, which became due. We used $66 billion of our own resources towards paying down the debt, and we refinanced the rest. In the new budget, only $162.7 billion of principal becomes due, or 40.
The next budget around go have 100 and far down more.
The debt is not
8.7% less than the current budget. And we will continue to pay down this debt. As a result, interest payment for the upcoming fiscal year is $4.8 billion less.
Yeah, you know, tell you how much you pay interest payment. Can you imagine what interest? Brother, listen, if you pay interest and you pay 4.8 billion less, how much is the interest? Not the principal, the interest.
Just the interest.
If you pay 4.8 billion less, can you imagine how much of the interest? If Byron,
Exactly.
if Pastor we can and everything part 4.8 billion less. If not say how much am I paying now? If not say I pay 500 billion or 300, you have not 4.8 billion less. So it sounds like you gonna pay 4.8 billion, you have not less.
But if you look at how much the budget, the debt is now, it has increased from when they came into office, and it still hasn't been diminished past the level that when they came. So they didn't pay down the debt. That's the biggest lie he's telling. And furthermore, the debt, Nigel Clark paid the interest on the debt to service the debt, to pay the interest, not to reduce the debt.
No,
Jamaica,
them never paid them nothing for the capital with them borrow, you know. They have never paid anything on the capital that they borrow. What they have been doing is just servicing it with the interest rate money, because that give them the opportunity to go back to IMF every time to borrow.
Yeah,
These people let me tell you something. We are very sensitive to what Andrew Holness, Nigel Clark did to Jamaica. By not paying anything on the actual capital that they borrow and just paying the interest rate whenever it is due. That gives them a leeway to always go back to IMF and borrow. That's why we saw the vast amount of borrowing that was done. And that increased the austerity measure and plunged the country into poverty and misery. This is why I have to tell the people, look, don't talk about this government and do nothing good for you, know. In our work and all them things there, you know, because we have a command to that little more, you know. But, you know, this government can mash up on a life, man.
6% less. Under the last budget in the PNP, that was in
you haven't gone a PNP over 10 years, right? You haven't gone the last budget 10 years, right? Gone at 10 years over
2014, 2015. The portion of your taxes that went to paying interest on the debt was 33.
People, remember this when I'm talking, them buy the money and portion for borrow back this and pay back because them think upon them default upon them debt. So he must say under the last government and the pay. That man tell us I can't listen to him. Him stupid enough, brother. No, him borrow them, no, all this he must part of the administration. He must be last prime minister before Portia come in. She beat him.
And them run back the country in a debt, you know.
Debt, how much of the country?
Them run back the country in a debt.
We don't want to hear about 10 years ago, 11. We are talking the other day, 9 years ago, 10 years. Way for the country. You say I'm stupid, Byron? Exactly. The man borrow money and mash up the place. And they talk about under the law, under the PNP. Them that pay 33. The 30, remember, you know, we never did not pay that because participants started to IMF from 1995.
Exactly.
14 years after 2009, them go back to the IMF and mash up the place. So them debt, yes, hey, Byron, you know, so them are easy. We can't allow him to do this, eh?
They're stupid, man.
Because the man dry, and the man come out him that run, and the man run this, and then come out and tell like, continue.
6% in our upcoming budget. The portion of your taxes that will go to paying interest is down to...
Going to pay interest, you know, people? Going to pay interest is down.
18.7%. We have cut it.
You're not going to pay interest, it's down. The follow away, you know. be a lie. But that's for sure how much interest them up here.
almost in half. Paying down the debt in a disciplined,
So matter about the interest, matter about almost in half. That's the money will come down with them run up. Yeah, and the interest them up here, you know. You hear me look about it? Him bust it in a half. We are paying interest.
anyway,
But
creates more space for sustainable spending on the things that improve your quality of life, like another 100 new buses. When you are responsible and disciplined,
People, him get 400 odd bus and they must sit there around 300 odd. They mash them up. You use them, you have to fix them over a decade. Them have to fix.
Win.
A 600 odd bus in all, you know, them get around 400 odd. You know. Yes, brother.
Win. Put up what we just send you. Let me read it out to the people.
Send him outside. Send him outside. You feel insulted.
in doing the right thing, you will confound the naysayers.
Yes.
We are spending more on the people's needs without taking more from the people's pockets.
All right.
People, the budget was, in the tell us, 10 years ago, the budget was like 600 and something billion. In the 1.5 billion, trillion.
But
wait. If you take more out of your pocket, that makes sense.
Wait.
Count 1 and 2 to backside.
But I know, we send you the evidence. We need to put up the evidence so the people can see it.
Now put it up. Me just hear word and then put it up.
While at the same time reducing the national debt. This is a good thing. Jamaica must never go back to the days of supporting reckless politicians who spend without regard.
I remember we in a recession. Look how I got people. Look on a dry man here, and here I go. This are the lie.
A dry man, this way just done run 4 miles. Yeah? And him should do, all right. Let me address him. Just give me a minute, let me address that piece again.
This morning, I was tired after the Sigma run and I didn't want to exercise. Nevertheless, I decided to get up and go run 4 miles. It didn't feel good dragging myself out of bed, but I feel good now, you know, and that is the effect.
Yeah, man, come on, move in front of us.
All right. Put it up, make you show the people them, Wayne.
Yes.
Right? As it relates to our national debt. Because show Jamaican people. You hear what I'm saying? Don't support a government who is not paying down the debt. Let us show the Jamaican people. Let us take him for his word. Let us show it. That's
why I play him to, you know.
Yeah, let us show it to the people.
I'm still so.
Right? Look at the national debt, people.
Well, I'm gonna put it up right now.
Just look, and we are going to break it down for the people to understand.
Yes.
Right? To show you.
In fooling a man.
Right?
If he fool one more time, something wrong to backside. What a man?
We are not paying down the debt. We are increasing our debt. So we can show the Jamaican people. And I don't know. Look. All right, here it is. All right, you can pick it up, Wayne?
Yeah, let me draw it up. Come on.
Because I want the people them see it, you know. I want the people them see it.
Can I see it now?
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So if you look, people, look as it relates to, and this is a trajectory, a bar graph trajectory from 2007 and a projection going to 2029. Look where it is going to take us. So we start our national debt 2007 at $6.6 billion, right? And it debt climb, right? In 2015, right, under Portia Simpson, right, we're able to take it down, right, Portia Simpson, 2012, at $12.14 billion, right, to Portia Simpson time, to $12.9 billion.
Yes.
Now let us look on Andrew Holness time from 2016 to 2025 as we speak. So 2016, you see where the debt escalated to $12.81 billion. Now, if you look at 2025, right, for the current year, you now see the debt now escalate to $14.25 billion. So what is he talking about? What is he talking about? The evidence is there and can't hide from the evidence. And you want to stop telling Jamaican people them lie. Hear the evidence. Look, 2025, $14.25 billion. Right? US dollars.
US.
So,
Yes.
so when you're talking, Andrew Holness, and the labor rights, please put out the graph and show the people them and stop your bullshit, right? Because that is not going to work, you know. Titan in the space, and Titan is going to go in the history. Titan is going to bring up the history and show the Jamaican people, and that is the reason why you are getting damage in the poll. You understand what I'm saying? Because we are taking the evidence to you. We are highlighting the evidence. So dispute that. Can you dispute that? Right? So when Portia Simpson hand it over to you, Portia Simpson hand it over 12 point something. Right? When you have it now,
Right about the economy, all the apologies.
$14.5 billion.
Continue.
Right? And here it is. Look at this now. Look at these people.
Now I play grandstand and make him talk. Remember now, this is the quarter from July to September, right? September,
Yes.
October, right? September quarter.
Yeah.
From
This
July
one finish
to
in
September.
September.
So you see who was right about the economy, all the apologies. The Statistical Institute is now telling us that the decline is even deeper than the Plan Institute of Jamaica projected. The economy is down by 3.5% during the third quarter. The goods producing sector down by 7.2%, and the services
7.2.
sector down by 2.2%. So you see, that is what we have been telling you. Data driven, not apology. Yeah? Worse than we even thought. Mining down by 17.4, agriculture down by 12.5, construction down by 3.3, manufacturing down by 4%. Transport, storage and communication was up by 2.5, finance and insurance up by 0.8, producers of government services down by 0.5, wholesale and retail down by 3,
Even food now sellers, wholesale and retail done by 3.
real estate and renting down by 3.2,
Real estate and renting done by act. So everything done. So what about is a recession?
electricity and water 5.8,
Up to electricity and water, it done. People can't pay for this, it done.
hotels and restaurants, which are a proxy for the tourism sector, down by 6.2%.
Hotel and restaurant done by 6 point at can't even buy food. What happened to these people?
Other services down by 6.5%. Bad policies. We need a change in policy.
And the man that are tough in this. All right, let me show you something again. Him say bad policy. We need a change in policy. So that other quarter, let's see the other one, you know. Let me show you the other one. What we are talking about. That one 5.1, 3.5 that.
3.5.
October to December, you know. Look on this now. Well, look on 3.5. We could look on October to December. And yes, still Holness just come to this last week and I talk bag of bull crap. This October to December. You look on this now. See there? When I say it?
1.8. 1.8 decrease.
Yes. Look on this now, people. Goods and producing industry decreased by 4.7. Service industry 0.7. Look on this. Agriculture, forestry and fishing. Minus it down by 12, minus 12, you know. 12.0. See there? Minus 12.0. 12.0, you know. Remember, we see it minus something, 4 point something around there, minus 12 point at the gone.
Exactly.
Mining and quarrying, minus 3.2. Construction, minus 2.1. Oh, you bounce back from this. See there? Manufacturing, minus 0.7%. Other services, minus 3.5. So, you know, not wait, not touch. Hotels and restaurants, minus again in another quarter, minus 2.5. You see it?
But point out that agriculture and forestry, fishing, and them get the biggest blow, you know. Minus 12%.
All right. Look around us again now. Wholesale and retail minus 1.2. So it's still, you see it? A recession. But yes, still Andrew Holness coming at that one bag of thing. Producers and government service minus 0.0 or 0.0. Finance and insurance, that are just 1.0. See there? Transport and storage, that grandson, 1.0. Not even that good again. It was 2 point something that's up. It dropped. See? So you tell me now if the country go good. And when Andrew Holness run out and attack about a bull crap.
Shit.
This are the quarter, see, they look on it. October to December, yeah? Compared October, December, it gone. You see it? When I see it now? Eh?
Yeah, man. We know say when them attack, we and panel. It's just, them a look some farmer help. But not help not around yourself for them. The people now coincide with none of the garbage where them a put out. Because if you add 3.5 and 1.8, a 5.3 you end up,
Exactly.
Yeah. And when you have an economy shrink by 5.3%, that is deep in a recession, not just recession, but deep into recession. So with all the fabrication where them want to try to exhibit, I mean, we around here, so we are privy to the knowledge of, country and economy and GDP and all these variances. We know what's going on. We cannot be tricked. So we are here now to pass the real source of information to the people in Jamaica who them can go around them and trick them. And make the people them know from our point of view where we stand that the economy is deep in recession. Not just recession, but deep in recession. And they don't have a clue how to get the country out of recession. Because there's no manufacturing sector that is thriving. The agricultural sector is flat dead. The tourism sector, we don't get much from it. Yeah, a scraping we get from tourism. Yeah. And when you look on other areas in the economy that you think would grow, it cannot grow. Transport sector cannot grow because people are not working adequate amount of money to be spending and commuting as passengers. Right. This sector will shrink also because it's a knock-on effect. When you have corruption in your country, this is what it does to your country. It takes away from the development and the growth of the country. Exactly. Because a section of people in authority is pocketing the money that should be building the country. Yes? So we're having this high level of inflation, austerity measure, and it falls right back to recession.
Yes. Corruption with bad policies.
Exactly.
You can't leave out bad policies. Because them not have no policies,
Them not have none.
You have some good policies, that's something better. You go your country and come, but them have some patter cats.
All right, the man.
Corruption with bad is a detrimental to any country.
You want panel. You want know how things bad in Jamaica. The man come out with a $45 billion project, Parks project, But a be a patch in a road, Substandard patch in a road is wasting $45 billion worth of good taxpayers' money.
Madness.
I rather you deal with the road them the right way because these roads were suppressed over a lengthy period of time. And they need careful looking after. So when you run out now and patching these roads, look a patch here and there, what that can do?
No.
That cannot do nothing.
No,
I rather the money concentrate on if it's 5-6 good road you can deal with it.
Yeah, but
move on.
Let me say this.
Yes, Pastor Ricky.
If you look at 2024, 9 months out of 12 months cycle, the economy crashed. Let me just be clear. The Jamaica economy crashed in September at the end of September last year. Compound with the fourth quarter and what you just show from Planning Institute. So the Prime Minister, who's incompetent, bad economical policies, have three options to save Jamaica from plunging further into a recession. And if he doesn't manage it carefully, Jamaica will plunge, and I use the word plunge because those are economical terms, plunge into a depression. God forbid, we don't want to see that. But here's what he's going to have to do. Number one, he has three options. The first one is either in cut spending, which is government programs, but yet he produced a budget in a deep recession that didn't cut any government spending. So number two, and if you cut spending, you're going to cut programs that affect people. So the people are going to feel it. Number two, I'm going to have to raise taxes. Well, they said they're going to raise $1 billion in taxes with the taxi drivers and other tax hike that he proposed. And if you raise taxes, you're going to hurt the people. So if you cut spending, you're going to hurt the people. If you raise taxes, you're going to hurt the people. And then number three, the final option he has is to continue to borrow more money. And according to the list of money that I read off last week, where he borrowed from the IMF from 2016 up until last year, I don't think Jamaica is in so much debt right now, and they don't pay down the debt. They only service the debt by paying the interest on the debt. Basically, it's going to take a new government to come in and rescue Jamaica again. We see this repeatedly. Every time the Jamaica Labour Party put their hands on the economy, they wreck it. They crash the economy. We see this with Eddie Seaga, crash the economy. The PJ Patterson government rescued the economy, pay off the debt, and brought the economy to a stabilization. Then we see Bruce Golding administration winning and bankrupt the economy into debt. Mama P came out after and failed 14 IMF tests. Mama P administration came in and rescued the economy again. Now, Comrade Leader Mark Golding, big up yourself, Comrade Leader, enough respect. When he comes in, he's going to have to do the same thing and rescue the economy again. The JLP government does not have fiscal discipline, and they don't know how to manage a budget or economy. And right now, Jamaica is at a crossroad. I said before, this quarter that we're in is the first quarter of fiscal year 2025. Based upon the last projection from Planning Institute of the 1.8 decline plus all the different sectors that were affected, there is no way the economy is going to recover this first quarter in 2025 with the tourism down, with
everything
down.
Everything.
Agriculture hasn't bounced back. So we're heading for another quarter right now of another decline. And so if it's not managed properly, remember 3 straight quarters last year. The last 3 quarters last year, 0.9% growth, flatline, 3.5 decline growth, 3.5 decline, excuse me, not growth, and then 1.8 decline. And then this quarter, this period now is going to show another decline. So if they don't manage this thing, they need to call the election as soon as possible, put another government in office to save the economy, because the economy is on a precipice and it's about to go over.
But Pastor Ricky, let me ask you a question. Pastor Ricky, let me ask you a question. Remember, let me just speak on something, not asking you a question.
Okay.
One of the issues that we had prior to Nigel Clark departure, right, is just that we did have a budget shortfall. Remember, that has not been addressed.
No,
one of the primary reasons, one of the primary reasons for having that budget shortfall is because we miss out on several corporate taxes. Now, we could talk about that, because when you have as a result that the country fall in terms of the collecting those taxes,
right,
which create an impact in our budget, create a budget shortfall.
Right.
You have to look back now as it relates to the PSOJ, including, you understand, Big Mama situation, where Big Mama who over $1 billion, right? No, that is added revenue that the country could be utilizing.
Yeah.
But this is Andrew Holness' administration, because Andrew Holness himself, you understand, robbing the country revenue by not wanting to pay tax.
Right.
Because Andrew Holness himself don't like to pay taxes. Right? No. We have seen in the Integrity Commission, we have
Zara
report,
Burton.
we have
Zara
seen,
Burton.
as it relates to Zara Burton investigative reports, right? So not only Andrew Holness is doing it and Big Mama, Andrew Holness also, you understand, aid his friends, you understand, he's come along to avoid taxes, right?
Yeah.
You have other entities, right? Other hotel entities not paying over their tax, not paying over their taxes.
Yeah.
And so then some of these companies that are not paying their taxes now lead to political kickback. Now, here's a perfect example, you know. Big Mama, you understand, who owed, you understand, over $1 billion,
1.2.
right?
Yeah.
As it relates to taxes, robbing the country revenue.
10 write-offs.
The country need that.
Yes.
But when you look at that,
Big
he
Mama.
allowed to get away because he's now dealing with the Jamaica Labour Party talking points. And so then he has to defend the Jamaica Labour Party. You understand? And doing the spinning for Jamaica Labour Party.
Yes.
You understand? And
Yes.
you know, this is all the corruption as it relates to nepotism. Because the government, you understand, the TAJ, right? Now, when you look at that, they know that Big Mama owe these taxes. What is the effort that TAJ, right, is taking in terms of collecting these taxes that these entities deny the Jamaican government to pay? You understand, that affecting several of our programs? Billions of dollars of revenue owed, receipt in the budget shortfall, billions of dollars.
And we're going to see it in this.
So what are the efforts that the government utilizing to collect those taxes?
Yeah.
Let me
just say this real quick. Let me just say this. As it relates to the budget for shortfall for fiscal year 23 to 2024 budget, there was a shortfall of $45 billion. And I can predict that this fiscal year 24 into 2025, there will be another budget shortfall. So to formulate a budget, they make projections and forecasts of future revenues. They have not collect, like for example, when they have the budget debate on starting March 11th, they're gonna make projection and forecast future revenues that has not attained yet. What they plan to is to collect taxes. The budget is compiled of future revenues that are taxes that they're going to collect and money that's owed to the government as it relates to exports, tourism. They get a percentage of tourism and agriculture and mining. Those are money that they're projected that is going to be owed to the government. So they formulate a budget prediction based upon future revenues. And if they fall short in collecting the taxes, if they fall short in terms of not collecting the money that's owed to the government, it also creates a budget shortfall. And then furthermore, add to the complication of corporate entities not paying corporate taxes like Big Mama and them and getting 10 write-off. That also implicates the budget projection. So I guarantee everybody that when the budget is read, we're going to hear there was another budget shortfall because this fiscal year ends on March 31st next month. There will be another budget shortfall in this year because of remember the economy has been in a recession. Remittances were down last year, and it's and tourism were down. Plus the Hurricane Beryl, all of that is going to affect the money that was predicted in this fiscal year budget that they never get to collect because of those crisis that that happened to the budget. So guarantee you that this budget will have this year, what that ends March 31st, is going to have another budget short. So it looks like they've been operating with budget shortfalls because of taxes that was owed to the government, for the government that they never collected because of their friends like Big Mama.
But it is not over that. And you see them now at the wastage of money and the chopping cause this because place 400 odd million when nobody not put foot in. Nobody not put foot. Then you rent some other place for this, you pay 4.5 million per month when nobody know in. Then they have Nigel Clark can spend much like 400 odd million fish. So them do a lot of things, but them chop and take the money.
Exactly.
So you have no shortfall and not just about the budget when I come. Them have money with them thief.
Yeah, man, these are factors.
You understand?
Well, all of it is factors. Yeah.
Put more money, and now you know get it for use, for tax office, and then your reason to have that way rent it. You could have buy a place and bill it for them money that, and it costs less. But the reason why you don't do that because people have got to take taxi. Come on now. So people will live a yalas, and if them are pay Albion and them play, them are play in a Center Mass. Them are go in a Marant if you pay them taxes. Them have to take taxi and bus or drive. People live a Rockfort and Harborview or live somewhere else, and you have tax office downtown where you do walk down, they got pay tax. Or uptown, eh? No care where you live, you got to take taxi and bus. That's a sleazy excuse. But I feel them think that too much money them chap, brother. Them give to them friend by the way. You understand? So I them think they cause shortfall because them take out the money.
And
let's have 12.8 billion in them office. All the money they spend.
Yeah. No, you're right, Wayne. Because and we have to look on the level of corruption that is taking place.
Yes.
Right? Because that is some serious, right, impact, negative impact, right, to our economy. And as you rightly said, right, when you look on situation where you have a member of parliament, right, who deal with that building and the government has to be paying 400 and had.
That's done.
Yes. No, this is...
But that one done so now is something like from PSOJ in a mandable. 400 million. For what?
400 million.
451 million for 2 buildings.
For 2 buildings. Right.
But you don't even get them. Oh, man,
that's crazy.
So your money build the building and the man keep it and them friend. Then the same.
That's crazy. That is criminal.
Money laundering. Money laundering.
You know, I spend 4.5 million per month for the what? Empty building.
Molly full pay what? Her building only have 30% occupancy, yet she's paying.
Right now, nobody in that. I wonder. Yes, that building is there, but the next place.
Yeah.
Not now, friend, them I give the money.
It's waste. Yeah, fraud, waste, and abuse. And this government is a tax and spend government, and they're guilty of fraud, waste, and abuse.
Yeah. So them a move money. Either one, lie jail. Either one,
And as soon as it becomes practicable, this government will come back with proposals to deal with the security of the unemployed. Madam Speaker, government change, the rest is history. But the Andrew Holness government is here to fulfill the vision of the founding fathers of Jamaica.
Strong and wrong.
It was the vision, Madam Speaker, of opposition and government of the 1960s that unemployment insurance is an inextricable part of social security.
We never know that.
But
the
for 50 years or longer, this eluded the Jamaican people.
Lie.
We use in economic stability, Madam Speaker, to bring benefits to the people in the form of unemployment insurance. 60 years later, Madam Speaker, time come. Time come.
You know time come, I'm going to play this, you know. I want to play about this. Time come, Anjo. Yeah. Time coming.
And then they are red flag to the wrong team. I feel
you can hear him now. He goes, time come. Look at that.
60 years later, Madam Speaker, time come. time come for unemployment insurance.
Hey, you know what? Too much at the bag of foolishness. But unemployment insurance, when I get, by the way, when I get if when I get to the money, I want to get unemployment insurance. I'll be anything that I'm going with, you know. They are the stupidest government this never seen at the history of humankind still in a brother.
Incompetent, man.
And them a pata cat. Them dangerous. Him tell the government that time comes still, you know. And then him laugh it off.
I'm selling 12-year receivable at the airport tax. For 12-year receivable at the airport, them tax themselves. And then half of it was supposed to go to the 20%, the 20,000 tax rebate, and the other half of it was supposed to go to Sparks. And them have to pull the plug on the 20,000 tax rebate after a week. And everybody get it because them don't manage nothing right. Them blow it up.
No. It's illegal when out with some things and trick the people. Then when I allow it right, so I laugh after them, you know. He knows a time comes to laugh. Hey, we have to take a piece down plate, you know. Nigel as the time come. Anjo, time come. Yeah, man, he must laugh. Yeah. In shock. He knows them a garbage, you know. Same time come.
Him get the wrong team a red flag. Get the wrong team a red flag. A theme team did forget the red flag.
Yeah, well, he a red flag himself. You understand? Him a red flag. Hey, people, 2 minutes a laugh. We have to do a little quick intermission, you know. Look on this.
Mombari Nanga.
When you take notice on the pot, him a cook a pot, but then drop it on Anjo cabinet. Just look on the pot.
Kasongo mbona we songa libana. Oh yeah.
Man, pot go on there.
All pie. Kasongo yeah. Mombari Nanga. Kasongo mbona we songa libana. Oh yeah. All pie. Say rabbi.
Hey. No.
Good pirate. No, man, we have to play this, man. We have to take an intermission and play it. Because Andrew Holness, that government moving up. Them dangerous. No, we have to laugh, you know.
You can't take your eye off of them. You can't take your eye off of them, not even a second.
Yes, so you use an illustration because the government it move.
Hold them accountable, man.
Yes, man. Yes.
Hold them accountable.
You understand the government move?
We get it. We understand it. We get it. You can't lose your eyes off of them, not even a second.
As you lose your eyes, your part, everything gone. Remember, Andrew Holness said the enemy now. He's the ramp, you know.
Yes.
See? And by the way, Michelle Charles, me see you, I say your part, you know the road, and that's right. You see that a waste of money, you know. Remember, she out there with green flag with her name, and people have green flag with her name, you know. Red flag, for sure people stop and go on her name. They must allow these things, Anjo. It's bad.
Taxpayers' money a campaign fund.
Yeah.
Mad.
The Spark program is a political campaign method. We hand out work to people and get them vote. This is why they delay the road project until it come to election period. And these are the things that we know form the basis of corruption. And this is why Jamaica still find itself stagnated and cannot grow. Because these people that are in government, they are disenfranchised with the day-to-day running of the country. What they are inclined to do is to make sure they have enough money when they come out of government so that they can live their constant life of wealth. So it's nothing to do with looking after the poor and looking after the country. It's about looking after themselves. Because Jamaica don't have an economy that can allow member of parliament to get 200% and 300% increase, you know. While the mass of the people can't even find a night dinner to go to them bed. Then you get production from the workforce when the workforce is literally starving, weak within them core. you're getting less performance. The people mind are mentally deranged. So they are not even into anything as it relates to how they can, give you maximum capacity with work because a man at work, But when evening at time come, him draft, him a worry about him bus fare, him not bus fare. Him a wonder if a doctor got this him to get a ride to go home. This is how Jamaican are living. So when I see some people running around and talking about GLP government give work, GLP government give slave job, or if you be working less than 100 US per week, when everything is determined using the US currency. That's the currency that Jamaican trade with. So if your money is not matching up to the US currency value, you're nowhere to be seen. What can 98 US dollar do to a family of two? I don't even want to say 3 and 4. Just a family of 2. Because sometimes there's one breadwinner in this little young couple, man and woman, but it's only the man at work. That 98 US dollar can look after him and his spouse to pay bills and to feed them and for them to commute. So we are looking at a country that has enslaved its people in modern 21st century. And it's all down to the fault of the Jamaica Labour government. The Jamaica Labour Party government has seen fit to deprive the country of growth by engaging in corruption and making sure that their bank accounts are well looked after while the country is suffering. While the country has no plan of growth and development, their bank accounts are swelling like a big fat rat. These people are criminals and they should be moved out of political spectrum. Because Andrew Holness, from before me even become a prime minister, Andrew Holness was playing brother Nancy with Jamaican electorate from he was opposition leader. Everything that was told in reverse psychology mode. Now we are seeing the true reaction of what he said. He's literally throwing poison on the people in Jamaica right now. People in Jamaica are easier to be killed by the gun than by the bus. I'm reversing what he said. So we are looking at a prime minister who has no credibility, should not be on the ballot paper, should not be participating in parliament. He should have been disbarred from parliament from 2 years ago. From the Usain Bolt scandal debacle, Andrew Holness should have been kicked out of Jamaican politics. So this is why the Labour Party is suffering. It's because of Andrew Holness and his criminal activity and his criminal way of running the country. So I don't see them coming back at this point. This is the last period of this regime. And they won't be back in politics for an awful long time. I would give them about 150 years. I won't be around. But I project 150 years before them ever even see back the parliamentary place. You understand? Because people fed up. People is fed up of a government that cannot direct its nation. The nation has no direction. Where is Jamaica going today? What is our aim and objective for the young generation leaving school? We are not tapping into none of these 21st century employment policy, such as AI, technology, and all these things. We are not even training up our kids them for that. What are we looking at a country? Where are we going?
Okay. All right.
What is the education? What is the plan for education? What is the plan for the agriculture sector? So after our government do 9 years and those 2 basic sectors, education and food, him couldn't do nothing to it. They think he can do something else? This is a garbage government that sit on 28 bank account and a mountain of cash, man. And should invest in it tomorrow morning. And I yield back to another member of the panel.
This table shows how much more tax. This table shows how much more tax is being collected under the current JLP administration. Tax collected now has moved from 24% of GDP to 28%. Make a song and dance about no new taxes imposed since the last go-round of $30 billion in new taxes, which was imposed in the first 2 years of the JLP government elected in 2016 to pay for the 1.5. Then, the promise had been at the time that it would pay for itself, but that wasn't so. They had to impose $30+ billion of taxes to pay for it. However, it is important to recognize that the taxes being collected from the Jamaican people have increased dramatically under this government. Dramatically. Have a look at that table. And you will see, in fiscal year 2015-16, which was the last year of the last PNP administration, the tax collected was $411.8 billion, which was 24% of GDP. The above table, this table, shows how much more tax. This table shows how much more tax is being collected under the current JLP administration. Tax collected now has moved from 24% of GDP to 28% of GDP. A much bigger carving of the national pie.
People, you move from how much 100,000 billion to 1.3 trillion, and the guy say lie. You know, see my idiot.
Paid by the Jamaican people in tax under the JLP. Jamaicans are taxed much more under this JLP government. That's just a fact. And if you look over the 4 years, the 4 fiscal years, 21-22 through 24-25, Madam Speaker, and I want you to listen to this, tax collections have increased by $409 billion. That's the increase in taxes over 4 years. 419 billion of additional taxes have been collected from the Jamaican people. That is an increase of 66%, which is way more, in fact, more than double the accumulated inflation over those 4 years. Over those 4 years, 31% was the accumulated inflation. The tax has gone up by 66%, tax collected. And looking at tax collection on a per capita basis, in other words, looking at tax collection from the perspective of each Jamaican, since this JLP government came to office, they have more than doubled the annual tax take from every man, woman, and child in Jamaica.
And that is true.
Increasing it by a massive $190,000 per person. And it now totals $342,000 per person at the time of this current budget. They've more than doubled the taxes they're taking from the people. So much for this no new taxes, Sankey. It is irrelevant. No new tax types, but much, much more taxes. 28% of GDP in taxes relative to 24 back in 2015-16. And as the recent election shows, who feels it knows it.
That's an indictment.
Madam Speaker, Jamaica really needs honest governance. And that is why we are on the road to change.
All right. Give me a time. Give me a time, Alonso. All right. Now, watch your Jamaican people. Let us, you understand, speak in terms of what Comrade Leader Mark Golan stated there. Every single word that Mark Golan spoke there is true, solid truth. Now, but the truth is just right there for the people to understand it. Now, the Portia Simpson-led administration between the period 2012 to 2015, right? What was the budget capacity that Portia Simpson used? Lonesome, the budget capacity as it relates to what Portia Simpson used was $600 billion.
Yes.
$650 billion.
billion. And you have the evidence. You have the evidence to show the people that the Portia Simpson-led government, right, utilizing $600 billion, right, to deal with their budget at the time. Now, so it shows you that, you know, the taxation was moderate under the Portia Simpson administration. And even though, right, that Portia Simpson operate a $600 billion budget, we have to remember that Portia Simpson was dealing with the IMF and the struggle to get on with the IMF on board. We have to remember that with all those struggles, right, Portia Simpson were able to operate a budget capacity of $600 billion. Now, look at Andrew Holness' budget. What is Andrew Holness' budget size? Andrew Holness' budget size is roughly about 2 billion?
1.3.
$1.3 billion.
Double.
So that is like more like a 110% increase.
More than 100%, yes.
Roughly about a 110% increase, right? As it relates to Andrew Holness' budget size. And the thing is, right, that as it relates to what we had just showed with the document, as it relates to the debt that we owed. You see that the debt, right, as it relates to Portia Simpson in terms of billions of US dollars, right, we handed over to him at $12.6 billion. Now 2025, right, where does that gone? That gone roughly $15 billion. So when you see that, people, right, why are you, you know, and some of the GLP people, listen to me, we don't need to argue with the GLP. They are not going to change because them daft and dunce, them everything that is just, you can't really just, you can't deal with other people. Them cannot be argued with. So don't argue with them. You understand that? Look at the facts. Even when them, all right, even if you put up one yellow color and tell what they are to GLP say this, no, this is yellow, sir, this is yellow. Him go say, no, I'm green. They cannot be argued with. They cannot be argued with. Because here it is, you know. Look at it. When you look at the level of skullduggery that is going on, the level of nepotism that is going on, we look at one idiot. I mean, also we not like when we call him name over here. We look at Dirty Chopper John. Dirty Chopper John. Right? We are him.
Yes.
You understand? We are him. You understand? The school board, right? And also a project manager at Western Regional Children and Adolescent Hospital. I want to state the right place where he is, you know, because some people have it say it is Cornwall Regional Hospital. No, he is not at Cornwall Regional Hospital. Right? It's the Western Regional, right, Children and Adolescents. Yes, that is at as a project manager, Wayne. No, Wayne, this man, you know, is in the culinary arts, you know. This man have no certification as it relates to being a project manager, you know. Right? He's not a civil engineer. Right? Nothing like that. And all of his, when I look on his CV, right, throughout all the years that he spent in culinary, there is no certification. You understand? Where this man have, and this man, Andrew Holness, you understand, and him thief in government, you understand, continue to thief the people their money by putting Chopper John, paying Chopper John, you understand, project manager salary. And me know definitely say, portion of their money there, they're going to who give him, you understand? All of them something of criminality.
Yeah, don't move, brother. Now you do a little thing, I know. So this is what me just a point out and you just come with the same thing what me I say, brother. The government, as long as you are one of them sperm whale, one of them sperm whale, when them read out at the house, them set, right? Because them say them make 85% of them have work. So them set up the sperm whale. Them say it. Yes?
Yeah, ERI say.
Clark said, come have it when Clark said, right? So them say them 85% of them, yes, with that other one, that sperm whale, we see it run out to car. Only thing him do, you know, and just stop him. That one, stop him. That's why you see, because them put them in some things and waste money. Them give people job where them can't deal with.
Exactly.
Yeah, money, them just a pass money, all apocalypse, them take and put on some place. That's why the country mash up. Because these people are some buffan people, you know. No skill, no education.
What we have to look at, you know, panel. What we have to look panel. These people are on the wage bill, you know. These people are not on the wage bill. The government are giving these people money without any authority to give them money. They are not on the wage bill. They are not employed by the people.
Look on this thing there. See the same thing there, the one I'm thing there right there. So this is a certified sea creature. One of them. Certified sea creature. It give the most trouble to you know.
But for qualification,
he put up something in
bottom feeder, factory resident, Yabamount style, Queenie, regular piss pot, seed storage silo, vacuum mount, specializing in cleaning, Holness, biggest propagandist blogger, the worst liar, always attacking PNP with lies and propaganda. Holness, creature of the deep. Stay away from this sperm genocide creature who is trying to wipe out the human race with his nasty lifestyle. Getting paid to spread GB lies and propaganda. Boy, it ain't easy, trust me.
The man, I'm CV that. That's his CV.
Rich.
Name I see it go on. One time I have it. You know, you're one of the best online in the book. And then when do it, send something to me, you know, say like what I Facebook. Say it I send something and me can send that to him. I'm at Facebook, him say to want to look on that now. That every liberal piece of shit. Say it I come say to want to take over my Facebook and that. I know, you know, but just move it out of my say that piece of shit. I know we around with, you know. That piece of shit. See, it go put a little thing and put a little sharp. No, I'm a like you married so long and say morals. This piece of secret, a piece of garbage, run out and a put. Me don't know, Andrew, him forget fire to take him off for your pay bill. Him is a piece of shit. Him no make we have, that's why you see what you do yourself, you know. Let me tell you, Bradback, big dirty thinking Bradback. Remember, Bradback, fish headless, them the dunce. Then now, this piece of shit too. This. Sperm whale from the sperm whale black. The whole of them they are just sperm whale. Listen, them can't help you. Them cannot help you. See the poll will come out there. You see it? Most people say move him. Step down. Exactly. Well, you have a 62%. You know. Tough tongue. God do no confidence on him tomorrow morning. Can't make a sense.
Parliament close to the 11.
Tough tongue, hold on there. As a touch pan tough tongue, beg you a minute pan tough tongue there. Tough tongue no better Andrew, you know, because remember, you know, when tough tongue a debate about Beryllium Hospital and White overrun, you know. Yeah, tough tongue I say, the skilled people, them they are Jamaica again. Because them don't know if build hospital. Right. But hey, tough tongue, you lie, you know. Because you say any building are classified as building project. And once you have the architect give you the design, the builder them work, them know what to do. So you don't tell me about when I'm nobody for build hospital at Jamaica. Because all of them houses in Jamaica, Jamaican building. Me know when time Sovereign up a Ligania build, call me work on there. Princeville Plaza, Dunrabin and Constant Spring, me work there too. They're not them building project there. Yeah. And me come to England and work all of the Commonwealth, down where the pool there, at Sandwell. We work on that. So you don't tell me not about building. But you want to lie to Jamaican people as if it costs you to get foreign people to build the hospital. You run out. So we don't want tough tongue nowhere in the ball game of politics. Because tough tongue lie just like Andrew Holness.
No,
Tough time catch man when night coming and tied up in a rope and take with them contraband, you know. And report nothing, you know.
Yeah,
Tough time a criminal. Tough time it's a smooth criminal.
Yes, but Andrew the worst than him. Andrew the worst one.
Yeah, but you can't bring him counterpart no around your son. Them not have nobody lonesome. Them don't have nobody take on the country right now.
Tough
you understand?
Them can't win go away now, but I better kick out Andrew because it's not make sense.
So what the people need is just a change of government because you can't even say, well, move all of this and put nobody else.
No, look, now I give them free advice, right? Them have to pay for advice. And not true, brothers. When Andrew, no, policy was no tough time, them dangerous, but let me tell you this, tough time, I bet enough time, better somebody. Tough time, challenge him tomorrow. He better because Andrew done the party, desecrate it. So all tough time need for this challenge him. Some of them also don't challenge him, tough time. I'm fighting tough time, no. But if you challenge him, it don't make no sense, Andrew desecrate the party.
Boy, to me a 6 or 1/2 dozen of the other. No better Erin, no better barrel.
No, but
no better Erin, no better barrel.
No, yeah,
because tough time mash up. Let me tell you, Andrew mash up the country, tough time mash up the health system.
Yeah, but the whole country with the health system, you know, with everything.
No better Erin, no better barrel.
Andrew take the 1.5, you know, when you look up on the hill, the money spent, you know. The people them if take it back, I don't have to say nothing else. I just say, Andrew, the 1.5 of me the people that argue about, you take it. And up on the hill up on the party, you spend a little thing out of it.
If you don't have a healthy country, if you don't have a healthy set of people, you won't have a country. So none of them is the same.
No, them not. But me I said in a freedom party, in a freedom world, Tough Town better than Andrew. Andrew no want to hear that, you know. He want you put Tough Town with him. Tough Town better than Andrew. Them I want to know tomorrow, you know. Because them I said that me in loan. No, Tough Town better than Andrew better. Freedom business.
There, I mean, I figure out who we could have used to replace her. Come, me not put tough flag, you know. Me not, you're my CEO, you know, something. But me not endorse Tough Town.
Listen, remember me.
You understand? So today, I say then who me could have know? Because me no want Andrew, me no want Tough Town. Who me I think that head, you know.
Brother, you couldn't push bushwhack. Remember
no
business. But
you can't come with that them. No.
Your Andrew must stay there, man. The people
you can't put Agintai there, you know.
Remember I said film oof them and a film, you know, brother. Film oof them, touch everything to, you know.
Me I tell you, and you can't put the bars.
Agintai oof. Brother.
You cannot put the bars.
Yes.
You can't put drunk or jacket.
No mistake.
And you know somebody can hold. That make you feel
hear this now. And I feel everything, you know, because I feel them things will go clash. You can't take up Big Mama camera when the top is in there. You know, so you're done. So you Uncle Tom, everyone there. Him not good night about Uncle bushwhack. What you say about bushwhack?
No.
You mad?
No. What you say about Mummy return?
No.
Oh God.
Mama cow.
Boy, that bad. Smooth, be a fierce criminal.
Apocalypse.
No.
Who we can't think of? Oh, Brad.
No.
Brad who?
No, nobody.
Like I said, since me in favor both of MBAs, you can't put favor.
No,
favor no come on and respect it, because she make Juliet this her. She make Juliet this her, so you know she can't carry
people.
Man, you're mad, man. That's what they turn off everybody will come in a parliament, man.
Me not see nobody, because them not nobody around there. And them
I remember you can't drop a sniffy there, you know.
Sniffy no.
He must spend time at the house, you know, when him fear work in the parliament.
Remember when them Sniffy Turner, Sniffy had headmistress, you know, and they are not school and them turn headmaster, you know. So,
yeah.
Headmaster, headmistress. I got together.
You can't draft Big Mama. Because I'm good man.
Oh, Big Mama. You come take with the whole of the taxpayers' money. You know, see what take with the whole of the work of the money.
Nobody want to pay Big
All who work for him, you know, him draw the money out of it, you know. Then if you put Big Mama in front of the country, everybody taxpayers' money.
But Big Mama,
I'm
nobody
just
know you
joking.
from Big Mama. Big Mama, you never not think about big nasty thinking, Mama.
But that's a joke.
No.
Them not have nobody I can make you know. So I better them pack up. There's no one there to hold on for the reign of governance.
Not serious note, it must depend on the ballot. And them have to
You
find.
know for the ballot.
What about Kamina Johnson's?
No,
No man, that a pay million not work. That will take every million out of the country.
So them not
you were my trust now, that garbage.
I'm
Yes.
bug life. Yeah, what about bug life?
Hey, Pastor Ricky, a serious thing, you know. When you look through the spine of the Jamaica Labour Party, there's not one in there.
Yeah.
Not one.
For the award. Because if you want the award, so you would have Crawford by tomorrow. Juliet final and a talk.
Juliet final. Parliament mash up. Parliament mash up.
Yes. You can't go say it. So we don't want no award.
You can't, yeah.
What about Crab? Him the deputy, you know, sir.
You mad man. You want WikiLeaks come down, you mad man, a bird speed. Remember them man, they are criminal, you know, Pastor Ricky.
Next in line.
Remember them man, they have about 2 pages in WikiLeaks, you know, annual, you know. But then the party over the man, the party that has pride itself on corruption, you know. And corruption lead to destruction.
What me I said to people, I'm going to put up at this. The reason why I said this to people, because if this come out today, I'm going to put it up back. And them are saying to step down, we are trying to help them, you know, with a good heart, because Andrew not supposed to be on the ballot and a joke. You can't have him a draw down the party. Yeah? Him a cross, him a draw down the party. Look on these people. I'm going to put it up back. Now this, show you where we attack. This here, 62% of them, see there? It must continue as leader, so who them are going to try to help them? With a good heart. Who them are going to put there? See the people? If him not certify, much as the whole 28 bank account not put in a filter. Baron, the 28 bank account not filter in this and them thing. See the 28 there? See 28, I say, the 28, you have a filter.
See 28 bank account there.
Yes. This are those. When I verify them, say it must be the leader. Who them are going to put? It must be the planet for true. So who them are going to put better?
Yeah, this is sad for the Prime Minister.
Well, I tell you.
It's really sad.
What the poll reveal is that 3 in 10 Jamaica say yes, we want him. And then 6 in 10 Jamaica said no, we don't.
And the 2 number together, man. 7 Jamaica out of 10 Jamaica, and them no want him, man.
Well, the 9.6 said them now.
You have to put that over the green.
Okay.
Because if truth be told, them people now work with him either.
So
yeah, 9.6 is no opinion, you know. So you have to put no opinion, because we're going to convince them people to, you know. Between now and then, you say the 9.6, yeah, you understand who is no opinion. We're going to add them to the 62.1.
You have to add them to it.
It's wicked for him.
Yeah. Because remember, I know.
You see the 28.3, the 28 account, you know that now shift.
62.1 out of every 100 Jamaicans say him to go away.
All right.
I'm going 9.6 out of every 100 and 28.3 out of every 100. So 62.1 out of every 100, that I tell you same to go away.
Yeah.
I'm still I bring over the 9.6 over the green side, because they were up now.
So that's 1/3.
Them people in a either, you know. Them in him, you know. Cause remember them a look on him in the space, you know. But them not have nothing to say about him. So you know them not gonna work with him.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
2/3
them are gonna swear from him when the right time come. So this is why we know, say, them not stand a chance at the next poll. We know that.
No chance.
So we just ask, you know.
Yes.
God, hey.
Jaja. Remember, say them poll. I remember in-house thing that a joking that a poll where them use a back road. The green that poll. That wasn't a poll.
Yeah, man, a back road.
Scientifically and everything where them ask the people and ask the voters, both JLP and PMP and thing, and them equal them up right across and do them thing proper. That the green that I just say we energize voter with them attack, just come and tell lie. So this embarrass them and you get rid of the green dot poll and everything. You understand? So this is the same poll in 2020 when them say PMP part up and if him call, that's why I'm going to call it. Because the people them never come out, come vote for you. Yeah? And them did praise that poll, yeah. No.
Now them reject it.
Yes, because it's not pleasing to them. They want to come in with lie. Yes. So the poll with them swing pan is a poll. Yes, that poll, yes. You understand? Them have a swinging poll. No, this now, Andrew Holness, we are trying to help you. Just go in peace tomorrow. We can't get bushrat. Nobody not like bushrat. Nobody not like you, Andrew. But bushrat them, come on now.
Yeah, but all right. You are know. Again, we need to tell him say him just need to resign and also surrender all them travel documents, you know, because we don't want him left the country, you know.
No, okay, because just tell it too. You can't leave the country, you know. Yeah. Yes. So
surrender all them travel documents.
And by the way, that's a travel document. I'm showing that documents, people. What I hear Andrew talk about. Andrew, you not talk about this. It's very important. I'm gonna put it up here, so. Very, very important. Right now, I put it up. Right now. Let me see this. People, this is a little shaka to it still, you know. Yes? Let me show you something today. Look on this. Look on this. This is a shaka. Where the whole of I go see it now, I take a knock on the brain. You hear me tell you now? Let me put it up now. Look on this, Byron. I step up in some things I know, you know. You can't see this good?
Expansion of visa restriction policy for individuals exploiting Cuba labor.
So today, we announced an expansion of existing Cuba-related visa restriction policy that target forced labor linked to Cuban labor export program. The expand policy applies to current or former Cuban government officials. See? And it comes down more. You can't see this? You can't see it?
It's too fine. Yeah.
I'm push it up and the people them can't see it because we want to read it out and bet them to something yourself. Because Andrew, I'm open it and make a look on this now. The more you can't see it.
Yeah, should be able to. Yeah, that's better. That's much better. Yeah, today we announced the expansion of an existing Cuba-related visa restriction policy that targets forced labor linked to the Cuban labor export program. This expanded policy applies to current or former Cuban government officials and other individuals, including foreign government officials who are believed to be responsible for or involved in the Cuban labor export program, particularly Cuba's overseas medical mission. This policy also applies to the immediate family of such persons. The department has already taken steps to impose visa restriction on several individuals, including Venezuelans. Under this expanded policy, Cuba continues to profit from the forced labor of its workers, and the regime's abusive and coercive labor practices are well documented. Cuba's labor export programs, which include medical missions, enrich the Cuban regime, and in the case of Cuba's overseas medical mission, deprive ordinary Cubans of the medical care they desperately need in their own home country. The United States is committed to countering forced labor practices around the globe. To do so, we must promote accountability, not just for Cuban officials responsible for these policies, but also those complicit in the exploitation and forced labor of Cuban workers.
All right, so let me tell you what they say, people. Let me just tell them what they say. It said the Cuban doctor, them will come to Jamaica. They are going to take with them visa. The government, them are going to take with because you know that they are telling the Cuban mission, them. So if you use them, and that's a forced labor, not forced labor, that are doctors, and them have enough doctors. So where you know, the administration doesn't find something to say. But Andrew Holness, to tell the people about this, you know, him see it? Him no must see this, Byron.
Yeah, of course he must see that.
Yeah? So them are tell about the force, about the doctor, them attack, and the nurse, them, you know. Yeah, the mission, they were them, the medical team, the medical people, them. But we have nothing in Jamaica. So, you know, see what them want to do, restrict, what them want to do, you know, so take away your visa and you have a force if you don't use the doctor them and them stay in there, punish them, say them a punish Cuba, you know.
Yeah.
But by doing that now, them take a visa. Well, Crab now worry about that because he not get none. But what happened to some, them not give him none. But what happened to some other people? You can't make your people do without the doctor them and the nurses them. For please think the administration. But if you tell the people them about it in our Holness, because we have it, we show it. So they will take a visa if we don't keep the Cuban doctor them and the nurse them there. What we are going to do now? What we are going to do? Remember when we shot at nurses and doctors already in a brother, and the Cuban them make up some of that, you know. Saying? Yes. But Andrew, the people that make we know where we're going. Can we see it? See it there? Yes.
This is an embargo with the United States that place upon Jamaica.
Yeah.
But
you see we that, you see we that not strong enough because if I had a Michael man, you know him come out and him rush them on this, you know.
What do you mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. The prime
you know him gonna rush them on this.
Him come
but Andrew weak and pathetic. Andrew can't talk. Andrew can't defend himself. He can't defend Jamaica. He's a weak leader that we have, you know. He's a weak leader. Because remember, Andrew will and command no stage, you know, outside of Jamaica, you know, on the world stage of politics, no. Andrew non-existent, you know. You understand? So if it was a stalwart like Joshua Michael Manley, you know, run out on them guy and deal with them. I'm gonna ask them, say, well, yeah, my people need medical attention. What are you telling me? This guy is silent on this. So be glad all the Titan boss put it up in us so we can make the people know what is in the pipeline.
And they must be about to that because them doctors are some good doctors. In our family, we have no doctor.
Our neighbor.
See? So if you have a visa, you send them back. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Have to keep them. You cannot bow to austerity measures.
You don't.
No government should bow to austerity measure from outside.
You know what they do? Them know the doctor, them work and have family back home and them send the money. Them and say, all right, that I keep Cuba home. You know what I do now? Threaten them with visa, so them send home back them, so them now go make the money and them have one back a doctor can help them. But even if them people are dead, send them home, because them that will stop.
So who that would have benefit? That will benefit Jamaica and other countries. That benefit United States.
Yes. You make nobody threaten you. With a visa like Brad back, you get Brad board. You understand? So we not take.
You see, if Andrew was a stern leader, you'd have hear him talk on this.
You'd have responded to it.
You'd have responded to it. Him weak.
Yeah.
And this is why we are here to let Jamaican people know that Jamaica don't have a prime minister.
Wait.
Jamaica. Yeah, Pastor, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. One of the reasons this is taking place is because the prime minister is compromised. And I've been saying this. When you are a criminal and Uncle Sam know that, whatever Uncle Sam wanted for the, they're going to have you like a yo-yo and there's nothing you can do about it. Because if you don't do what Uncle Sam said, they're going to expose you more and possible come lock you up. So with him of these baggages of corruption, criminality, and with the SSL scandal, the biggest scandal in the motherfucker scandal, him after when Rubio called him on the phone and said, this is our interest, this is our policy, this is what we want you to do. Him can't say no, because if him say no, a prison him gone. So anything Uncle Sam, them have him like a yo-yo, him have to do it because he's compromised. They can't do that with a compromise. What they would do if you're not a compromised leader, they will buy you out and give you aid and funding and grants and all these things to get you to support the America's interest. But once you're a compromise, then you have to do what them tell it. So he's compromised. He's a weak leader. He now have no spine, no backbone, no testicular fortitude. And not only this administration going to deal with him like that, other European governments are going to treat him this way. So that's why he needs to resign, because he's selling out the interests of Jamaica. A lot of patients are going to die in the hospitals in Jamaica because these specialists that is from Cuba that specialize in medicine and internal medicine and other areas of eye surgery and brain surgery and heart surgery that Jamaica desperately need is no longer there because we have a compromise.
Prime Minister.
You know, you finished, Pastor Ricky?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
You know, what Pastor Ricky said, I would like to expound on it because it is very critical in terms of, you understand, when we talk about culpability, right? And we are Melting Pot also make a statement regarding Michael Manley. So if it was Michael Manley as it relates to the situation that Jamaica faced as it relates to Donald Trump idiotic policies, right? Now, Michael Manley is going to resist that.
Of course.
Right.
You understand? So I am supporting Melting Pot where that is concerned. Michael Manley is going to resist that. Right? Michael Manley is going to tell him that he's not going to crawl on his knees. Now, go back to what Pastor Ricky said. And again, I have to endorse what Pastor Ricky said. We have a situation in terms of a corrupted government. This is what now the United States government in these circumstances can use that as what we call a bargaining chip.
Exactly.
Pastor Ricky know what me I talk about.
Yeah.
Lonesome know what me I talk about. Melting Pot know what we I talk about. We are all critical thinkers. This now can be used as a bargaining chip. So then him have to jump around, because the United States have the intel on him, as it relates to SSL situation too, and no say both money involved as it relates to the US money may touch all in the Swiss system. So they have all of them information upon him. So when Donald Trump want him to jump, when Donald Trump want him to jump, the only thing why I have to tell Donald Trump say,
hi.
Let me go on a narrative.
Compromise.
When Donald Trump tell Holness to jump, Holness to jump in a pole vault.
But hear this now. Hear this, brother. A low cost, and a low toss in a low cost. Cree, say a them piece of nastiness. You should have got damn shame. Look where you have a prime minister. You claim is a prime minister this. And this is how the nastiness put up. Come here and move him. Come here, move him, come a piece of shit.
All right.
So him put up now take a snap picture where him say. Because we know we don't do tabloid around here where him there. Look, see there? Lotus. A lotus. Let me pronounce it. Lotus. Low cost.
Yes, so I'm big dunce that man.
Well, I know Andrew Asset driving you people crazy. No, you should have got damn shame. Andrew Asset.
Andrew Asset.
And a film asset that him can't tell me
all of
that neither. He might go say no bad mind, and then you sit down, you when not all. There. Where you use your teeth trap shit. Come and say the asset a driver crazy. You can have a prime minister who can't tell you nothing about him asset. And him statutory declaration cannot certify, and you come right. This is a piece of shit now. Flush.
Andrew have stolen asset.
Watch it now.
Yes.
Hold on there. I want to know who really bad mind. Because somebody bad mind bowl for their money, and thief bowl money.
Exactly.
Somebody bad mind bowl money.
Yes.
Yeah.
Somebody bad mind granny money too.
Granny money.
And thief granny.
You understand what I say? And it now
Disgrace, man. Disgrace.
So when you talk about bad mind for the prime minister asset. No asset.
No.
That's all gonna be peace.
So all we want to know how you get these, or you come to it and things. Same like if you have something on police, stop you and ask you come to it. Same like when they lock up youth and say scamming money and all kind of things. They want to the prime minister. I'm different from anybody else.
Not above the law. Not above the law.
We see my run 473 million in a tree book. Nobody can ask you, you're a fisher desk, come and say, alone in bar. The country Jamaica alone and look at it.
That put the prime minister in a bigger trouble now.
Bigger trouble. Then I want come and say no, hard back in don't your fat. Hard back come and say 2008. The prime minister invest in a SSL and it maturity in 2021.
It confirmed. The prime minister
have so much money I run through film thing there. and have too much property and everything. You know, what them do is mix up the Prime Minister more. I wonder if them what them say.
Yeah, them confirm that he was part of the SSL. Yeah, that's what them do. Them confirm say he was part of the SSL Ponzi scheme. He was a partner with you Krasky Knight.
Yeah.
But I want to know why Andrew Holness take up Brad back and turn him in a senator. Andrew says a senator part that. He's a senator part. He might run Andrew Belly right, you know. He might run Andrew Belly. Because when him run out and see them thing there, he Andrew know. But all you do is just make loan some money tight and they mash up more, you know.
Of course.
Him not good for the work.
No.
Him don't good for the work because if him can't come out and I say these things. I feel like he might defend the Prime Minister. No, he must sink the Prime Minister. He sink Andrew Holness.
Let me ask a question now.
This is music to a prosecutor's ears when a criminal Prime Minister trial comes.
Yeah, you can't have them attack you in your war room, Andrew. Can you hear this now? Him come out and look how we look upon things, Andrew. Critical thinking. You have a wife. You actually have over 3 decades you now go. I'm married like 28. Nearly 3 decades, you know. I will now come before that. Yes. And when you look, your wife never open her mouth on none of these issues. You know, she never one of the 28 bank book. But you still, you have a everlasting bank book from 1975 when you are little youth. And you're still in that bank book. But your wife, favorite, but give you and when you and she married and not even one of them 28, the fear name even catch pan. But we see other man name a catch night and other one name where you just appear people.
Yeah.
Yes. So these are the things where you question. And then the question that you know, them come and tell you, so you do this. And your wife to come out and I say nothing. But them run out and a blah, blah, blah. It don't look good. It don't sound good. Them know how you get your money and everything and I tell we. You don't tell them your business. Remember, if you hide it from the IC, them have forgotten. Remember, I hide it from the IC, but them know in business. That make any sense, people? Remember, the IC have got to help forget the, and that's why I'm carrying them a quote, you know. Same impede, but the corporate view. Now that thing to Byron.
Yeah.
Hey, Byron? Byron?
Eh?
Byron?
I'm
Speak
frozen.
over because you broke up a while ago. Your Wi-Fi chip out a while ago.
All right. So, when I hear what I say, all right. So, me I say, the Prime Minister, him wife, 28 years, and you know, they're together over 30 years. You know, him have a bank account from 1975 with him and his mother and sister. But yes, still not even one with his wife, none of the 28. The bank account, how much years that now? Like 50 years?
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
but him not one with his wife.
Yeah, 50.
But yeah, this Byron, him a bank account with all people in our community, the one where him pay, with Gavin them. Him a bank account with different people, but not him wife. And yes, if him wife ever come up in fear mode, but these guys, remember you know, Andrew Holness hide the things them and the IC go dig them up. And them said the IC peel back the veil, the corporate veil, and them not supposed to do that. Remember, you know, Andrew hide them. So all them know about Andrew business. But yes, still the IC have to go through so much difficulties to find out about them 28 bank account here. You know, say something wrong.
Yeah.
Eh? Brad Backer, you know, see them a finger under the boss. What happened to these guys? You don't know when each time them open their mouth, them we have a million questions for you ask. What them do is push Andrew and big, I throw Andrew and the big mama.
Them are
You know, the boss and the big mama, I throw Andrew and the big mama, them to stop it.
Yeah, last week a guy implicated him son and him daughter-in-law and himself. Now them criminals there implicate the Prime Minister even deeper in this scandal.
That me I say.
Yeah.
Eh?
You notice as it relates to the Prime Minister not having Juliet Holness attached to any of his account.
Yes.
It goes as it relates to me looking at that as an investigator. That is indicating to me
red flags.
A premeditated plan.
Yeah.
That well executed. So the Prime Minister knowing to the fact that he aware that he is involved in criminality, may want to not involve his wife, you understand, to attach her with that level of criminality.
Mm-hmm.
You see where I'm going?
Yes.
And so then he's also thinking on the fact that if the worst scenario are to happen, right?
Get bust.
Based on how he set up situation as it relates to shares, may automatically go to Gillette.
Split the money, yeah.
You understand? You can see where he set up a situation that if the worst of the worst happen, things would automatically swing to Gillette prior shares. So it's a very smart move, you know. Not having his wife implicated on these things.
But it looks.
So it is not a situation where,
yes,
you know, okay, all right, you know, you have to have your wife where that is concerned. It is the level of thinking that the Prime Minister is utilizing in the situation to say, okay, all right, let me protect her. That means if the worst case scenario happen, you understand, and then I get the ultimate punishment, she would live to survive as it relates to shares going to her. So you must understand the plan that being utilized right there, sir. So we know, based on that and how it's structured, him himself aware of his corruption.
Yeah, but him play smart, but him not clever, you know.
Yeah, he's not a smart criminal.
Him play smart, but him not clever. Because the fact say you have an account with woman from in your constituency and other people, right away, investigator look upon that. About 200 red flag rise up in front of them.
Money laundering signs.
A money laundering time.
Yeah.
But as I said before, you know, if you have the one of this and your wife don't come out, you know, come make a speech, who is them these guys? When I say a loan, make him rich, so loan. The country borrow loan, look on the country, look on the state.
Just bottom feed, I know.
No, but the bottom feed mix up the man more, man. But remember, you know, if the man have him thing them, right? And the IC never know them carry them a court say, you should have peel back the carpet veil and look for me things them. No, them a tell the exact. Who them a tell like on the Prime Minister? Every time they open them out, them don't know say I think them a sink him.
Don't sink, you know.
In affairs.
Him sink. Because you know why I'm sing? You know why I'm sing loan some panel? Remember I use taxpayer money I pay them garbage after the PR, you know.
Yeah, but
and them man now do not respect them as some big old nasty dons. So they just come sink him.
They can't every time Big Mama do it too, you know. Big Mama.
The one of them are sink Andrew and Andrew can't sink.
Yeah. The one of them do the same thing.
All of them sinking him.
And when him say something, him run out like a Big Mama, him sit down and a mountain of cash. No. I'm physical. I wait, not go so we in a recession.
Well, that's music to a prosecutor ears, you know, that the Prime Minister is
everybody like, something different. And you can't know when them in a unison too, you know. If they're in unison yet anyway.
This is like
one to something. Andrew contradict them too, you know. Andrew Byron. Andrew said them.
Remember, you know, watch your practice with Andrew Holness go on with. Even at the case of Paula Llewellyn and the DPP office now. Andrew Holness appeared to DPP at one time because they want to hold on the corrupted piece of shit Strike 5. When Strike 5 will leave the space and go retire with a pussy and some dog from around. So you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. In my bar there. So when you look, these are what we talk about corruption, draw down a country. Because you have paid 2 salaries for one job. Why?
A lot of people,
you understand?
Melting pot. You see what he said here? A lot of people don't even realize that the dilemma that he caused. Taxpayer really felt it.
That's
in
what
terms of paying 2 DPPs. 2 DPPs.
Baron,
yes.
Further than that, him let them give him friends 600 million for bill house. And all him do, put a blockage and say, the housing. That's why it mash up to, you know.
Yeah.
We don't know if they pay back. We not pay back. Can check it out.
Don't pay back.
600 and the man for us kill them. The man have it for 5 years. You couldn't go to the bank and get 600 million. Bill the house, the man not turn it over and then cut a deal and say, me I can pay you back. So
that man get an unsecured loan, you know, because that man put up nothing for that 650 million from NHT, you know. That's why it don't pay back as an unsecured loan. The man taking up.
But Wayne,
Yeah.
remember when we investigate Dexim,
Yes.
the parliament warned Andrew Holness about Dexim, you know. They warned him, you know.
You know the man good.
You understand me? I say because Dexim, right, involved in other criminality, right, where they warned Andrew Holness about him.
Yeah.
But he didn't listen. Just like in the same situation as it relates to the People's National Party, flag SSL, you understand, and put a stop to SSL. But Andrew Holness wanted the criminality, you understand. He realized SSL in 2017. Activate SSL in 2017. So when you look at it, it is the very same pattern of behavior what Andrew Holness did with SSL, also did it with Dexim.
Yeah, let me say this, sir, Byron. What
Yeah,
Big Mama saying in that clip exposed the Prime Minister, because with the SSL scandal and both 12.7 million missing, $31 million US missing, what Big Mama say is the same thing what Councillor Joyce said. What Big Mama do is expose the Prime Minister when him say he's sitting on a mountain of cash. Think about that very keenly. $3 trillion that's missing from the treasury, 31 million US dollar that's stolen, and then him said the Prime Minister is sitting on a mountain of cash. That is music to a prosecutor's ears. And the same thing Councillor Joy said about any sinner. Them sit there for 8 years and feel them cry. So they might expose each other and don't even know it.
And don't even know.
You remember when I read this now, Fish Headless now did run out and say the PMP and when this and that. Just read this. Look on this. Read from this. Anyone want to see it?
Pastor Ricky, read it after.
It's too fine for me.
Too fine? I'm going to pick it up a little bit more. Can I see it now?
Let me see.
October 22nd, 2013, Second Securities Limited. I know, attention, Mr. Mark Cosgrave, President and Chief Executive Officer. Please see the attached for your immediate attention. Further direction issued by the Financial Service Commission and Stocks and Securities Limited pursuant to Section 8, bracket 1, bracket B of the Financial Service Commission Act. Please sign and return the attached copy of this letter. Acknowledge receipt of direction. Sincerely, I see who signed it. I see where it come from. We could put up the other one for this now. We could put up the other one. You remember Fisher Desk come out and talk about PMP and them and one bag of foolishness? You remember, right?
Yeah.
Look on this. We are sure that them stop it 2013. Right? It stopped 2013. Them sanction them. Look on this. All right. Who want to take this?
Okay. Further directions issued pursuant to Section 8, Subsection 1, Subsection B of the Financial Service Commission Act. Right? Stocks and Security Limited, 33.5 Oak Road, Kingston 10. Attention, Mr. Mark Croskerry, President and Chief Executive Officer. Whereas it is desirable in the interest of the customers.
Hold on. I don't want this one put up back. Hold on.
Okay.
Just read this. So another one, I don't want to put up. Other one. Hold on there. Let me see that one here. This one for put up back. Hold on, man. Well, I show them said it did stop. Yeah, at the right one this. Okay. At the right one this one put up. Come. Yes.
Yeah, all right. So this is it in terms of 110% solid proof.
Yes.
Right? And we have the Jamaica Labour Party are trying to spin in it. The fact of the matter, the People's National Party, right? Portia Simpson administration had successfully stopped, right, SSL in their track. And people have to remember that SSL executed, right, as it relates to under Bruce Golding government. So people need to understand that, right? Now, here it is. Attention, Mr. Mark Croskerry, President and Chief Executive Officer, right? Whereas it is desirable in the interest of the customers, potential customers and creditors of Stocks and Security Limited, the licensee, and for the purpose of safeguarding the licensee's assets to issue these directions. The Commission hereby directs the license to seize, carry on all aspects of its securities business unless with the prior approval of the Commission and until further directed, and without prejudice to the generality of the foregoing. And there are 5 steps that were given as reason as to the FSC, right? Seize SSL. Reason number 1, refrain from accepting new security businesses. 2, refrain from dealing in securities. 3, refraining from granting credit to related parties or other persons. Refrain from soliciting business from members of the public, right? And 5, provide all information, documents, record, access, other assistance, and cooperation to any special auditor that is duly appointed by the Commission. And there is people that the authorized signature affixed to it. The authorized signature.
Take notice.
Lonesome, I want to say something. Can I say something?
No, read this and then you say, take notice.
All right, take notice that all conditions and directives specified in all previous directions to the licensee by the Commission remain unchanged and in effect. Please be advised that any breach of these or any of the previous directions will result in the Commission moving to revoke the licensees, security dealers.
So this they say in a 2010, 9 and 10, them did have something with them put down 2013, 2012, 2013, and say anything you break, we are done with you. See that?
Yeah.
October 2013. But the piece of fish head just run out and a chat one bag of bull crap.
Yeah, but remember I know. To show, all right, fish headless being who he is. You have to remember that if you go back to 2017, remember that Andrew Holness went to Big Mama Station, you know. And who did he speak to?
Fish headless.
He had spoken to Fish headless.
Yes.
And remember the conversation as it relates to Peter Phillips during the 2015 campaign was asking Andrew Holness, you understand, to explain how he get his wealth in terms of building his house. Remember that was the campaign thing that the People's National Party in 2015 was eating Andrew Holness.
Yes.
So what Andrew Holness had done, you understand, to show you that fish headless, you understand, aligned with the corruption from as clear as back as that time, you know. So when the Prime Minister selected him, you understand, to do the interview here in 2017, you know, where him now, Andrew Holness, tried to put it up in saying that he came in to the politics with $47 million, which was lie. We proved to be lie.
Yes.
You understand? So remember, and this is how they have been awarded as it relates to them.
All right, that is corruption in itself, you know.
And getting getting job, you understand, which where they are not to get. That is how you understand, even the G2K, that is the because they have to commit the sin, the ultimate sin for Andrew. You understand, and all these things. And then now here they are putting in Senate, you understand, becomes member of parliament. And remember, you know, the same pattern with Donovan Williams. Let us talk about Donovan Williams in a Jamaica Positive Foundation. Remember that Donovan Williams, you understand, was a director in a Jamaica Positive Foundation before he ventured into politics, you know. No, not only that. Not only that. Also remember that Nigel Clark was also in Positive Foundation before Nigel Clark entered the politics.
Right.
So they have to commit the ultimate sin for Andrew Holness. You understand? You can see how Andrew Holness preparing them. You understand? Having them, you understand, being director in his foundation and so forth. You understand the level of criminality, the level of grooming. You understand? You can see the level of premeditated, action that Andrew Holness had done in grooming, right? All these persons that Andrew Holness groomed. You understand? From Donovan Williams to his brother, my brother name, Delroy Williams. So if you notice the two brothers, you understand, they were there before they venture into the politics. You understand? Donovan Williams was in Positive Foundation, Jamaica Positive Foundation, Andrew Holness shell company, right? As a director. Right? As a director. So, you know, and they leave from there, right? Get into the politics, you understand, to protect the status quo of the criminality.
So is that the loyalty test, Sir Byron? To the
that is the loyalty test. Definitely.
A matter of fact, Byron, yes. Right? I'm see Andrew make a next move where him take like apocalypse and fish head or something and push out the original JLP people that come up through the grassroots because they don't say him gone, but him can't stand in the politics. Him talk about the new prison. Can't stand in the politics. Can I say, if we turn this, me I have them when they run in for me so me have the vote for stay. You know, I go stay boy. Him for just go away.
No,
politics. And that's what I'm doing now.
All right. You see what I said there? It is very important if you notice now what he's trying to do because, all right, he failed miserably on the economy.
Yes.
So he can't use the economy to sell himself, right? He's corrupted and calculated and corrupted. Now, watch this now. What he's doing now is trying to now surge himself, you understand, through trying to say, okay, he's reducing crime to a particular level, right? Having the police officers them creating extrajudiciary killing. And if you notice, Wayne, what the Commissioner of Police has been doing is deflecting from what we are talking about.
Of course.
What we are talking about, and we want to make it clear to the Commissioner of Police.
Unarmed.
Yeah. We are talking about extrajudiciary killing that clearly identified. This is the way we identify extrajudiciary killing. So we are not talking about if the police go on operation, right, and then need deadly forces as it relates to criminal element shooting at the police. You understand? Mystic Sensation, Titan. Yes, we all agree that the police is going to respond lightly. You understand in terms of that. So we are not talking about that. Yes, don't deflect. Don't deflect.
7:49 a.m.
Exactly.
Pineapple Lane, Boardwalk, St. Catherine. The last time Romario Sterling was seen alive. In this CCTV video, the police are seen talking to the man who was seemingly instructed to kneel. He was taken outside his premises and then the sound of a gunshot. It's unclear how many members of the security forces were at the scene, but we observed them milling around. By this time, Romario Sterling laid lifeless on the ground. The police report on the incident last Thursday stated that the shooting happened at 8:20 p.m.
That's not what happened. They came here in the morning. They had him here. They can see the video. The time span on the video says 7:49. Already had him here with him hand on him head. 7:49 a.m. or p.m. a.m.
It also stated that the deceased man was shot during a confrontation.
No gunshot no come through the zinc. So if him in here, so I shoot after them. Them supposed to stand out the door and shoot after him in here. Right?
The report further said the cops seized a 9mm pistol with a magazine containing 8 rounds.
Let me stop this in people. Right. It make me feel sad enough.
Yeah, let me finish off something, Wayne.
Yes, better.
Because we want to make it clear. So when we are talking, right, and the Commissioner of Police went out on his public media platform and he's speaking, right, in reference in terms of what we are saying, right? We are talking about extrajudiciary killing and we are defining it, right, to the Commissioner of Police. We are not speaking in light of that if the policemen went out on operation and they face lethal force, that they are not to respond. No, we are not speaking against that. Get it categorically clear. What we are speaking about, that when the policeman pursuing any individual, whether a person may commit any atrocities, people must understand. Oh, okay, let me speak. Just give me a minute, Lone, so let me speak to them.
Yes, just a line up something.
We are not living in primitive
Jamaica
time.
now.
It's a sad day for.
Right? We are not. We are a civilized society. And what do we mean when we say we are civilized society? We are a sovereign country with a criminal justice system. Simple means, when we look at the 3 branches of our criminal justice system, investigation, the prosecution, and the judiciary, we want them to work in accordance of the law. So we are saying to the Commissioner of Police that where you have any police officer in the pursuit of a criminal, and where it is clear that, okay, if you even went into the house of a criminal and you find the criminal with a gun, there is no law in the book saying that you are to kill him.
Right, exactly.
There is no law in the book saying that you are to kill him. Now, what's this? So if you find a man with a gun, whether you find out that, okay, while you are investigating that person, you may have understood that the person may commit murder or whatever the person committed. It doesn't mean that because the person committed number 3, that means you, the police, is to kill him if you pursue him, and you have the opportunity in apprehending the person and bring the person before the court. That is what the criminal justice system allows you to do. Because when you kill him, no, you yourself committing murder. You're committing number 3. And so then, by the books, you are to be prosecuted.
Of course.
Exactly.
Right? Because you commit an act against the law.
Yeah,
right?
take the line on your hands. Yeah.
Remember, we are talking about how you define number 3, how you define murder. It is the malicious killing of a human being. Define it. We are defining it for you. Commissioner of Police, come here. Let me talk to you. We are defining murder as the malicious killing of a human being. So then, if the police is in pursuit, just like what we saw in the video, where the police went in to that man's home, took him out of his home, brought him around a fence, have him to kneel, and shoot him. That is extrajudiciary killing.
Execution. That's
if you notice, the Commissioner of Police, he is not addressing that.
Nah.
But here always tricky fire like Andrew Holness. Tricky fire like Andrew Holness, diverting from what we are saying.
Yes.
We are talking about extrajudiciary killing. Now, he's now mixing it up to say, none of my police officers that I have trained, that we are going to tolerate gunmen to be shooting at our police, and then so forth. And so we weren't talking about that. Commissioner of Police, Commissioner, we weren't talking about that. We are talking about extrajudiciary killing. You understand? Where policemen handcuff persons.
We have it too.
And have them in their custody and kill them in their custody. Yes. These are the issues that you, Commissioner of Police, need to come out and address.
Held accountable for crime against humanity.
I can show you a classic case right now, like over upon this. You know, when you in your bed, can them go 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning, and if you hear your door and knock and you jump out of your sleep, your gunman they come over and not, believe me, you're so frightened when you hear the police outside.
Yes.
Even if you're not gunman or anything, you're doing that now. Police! You know if a real police or gunman, and then you jump out of your bed, it's so frightening, you have to run up and down. You don't have no time for a fire shot. Now I'll show you real shootout and hear what the police say. Hear what them say when I reach shoot out. Because a man knows say you come for him and him want him have him rifle and it do a lot of damage. Look on this. Not my saying. This to show you say them are execute people. This are the first it happened to because them say it not really happen. Wanna listen good. Listen this. 4 police get shot, you know. 1 man, you know. And it's a team of police go there. But him surprise them. Them say them never expect it. Can't not really happen. Listen, no me say. Listen here. Listen here.
Black Friday. 2 policemen shot dead, 2 others injured in a dreadful early morning attack in Horizon Park, St. Catherine. 1 cop killer was later cut down in a police operation. The Prime Minister is
at this time.
Government backtracks on tourists will be tested on arrival and not identified. NC and government opens and this is Jamaica Now. It was a Black Friday in Jamaica this week, a nation in grief and horror after 4 policemen were shot when gunmen opened fire on them during an early morning operation in Horizon Park on the outskirts of Spanish Town in St. Catherine. Dane Biggs, a 33-year-old police corporal, and 26-year-old constable, Ricardo Hilton, did not make it. They were pronounced dead at the Spanish Town Hospital. Constable Hilton enlisted in the police force just 3 years ago. In the meantime, Police Superintendent Leon Clunis and another cop received several bullet wounds and have been admitted to hospital in critical condition. The superintendent has had 2 surgical operations. According to Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson, the cops were on an intelligence-driven operation when they were attacked.
When these things happen as a force, it just brings us together. We will not step back from this challenge that we're having with criminals, gunmen, and people shooting our citizens and shooting us as well. So this is not going to cause us to step back. We will step forward and we'll continue to do what we do.
And fewer than 12 hours later, Damian Hamilton, one of the alleged cop killers, was cut down in a police operation in Corville Gardens.
The perpetrator that escaped, leaving a M16 automatic rifle and a couple of magazines behind. And we've had a number of follow-up operations that led us to various premises where we gathered more information and intelligence on where they might be. Eventually found at least one of them in court. Where, on trying to apprehend him, he managed to graze one of our officers. Another officer got some bullet fragments in him before we managed to kill him and recover the weapon he was using.
Meanwhile, the police commissioner said the investigation...
I'm going to show you our next thing now. You hear this? Now make you hear them say them never expect it. Them didn't. Let me just go to Clunis. Look here. Just hear this now. Clunis. More Clunis talk. All right. Clunis crime scene visited. All right. Now you can hear this. Clunis. All right. I'm going to play this now. Hear this.
Were the police adequately prepared?
They were not caught off guard. There's no indication of that. They did.
Hear this. Them not caught off guard. Listen, listen
adequately prepared.
They were not caught off guard. There's no indication of that.
They didn't expect that kind of reaction. Is that the kind of thing you anticipate?
When does Selikawai?
They were not caught off guard. Google idiot, man.
Google now, but Google said them not anticipate it. That's true.
They were not caught off guard. There's no indication of that.
They didn't expect that kind of reaction. Is that the kind of thing you anticipate?
We revisit the crime scene. And who is this suspect, Damian Hamilton, who was later killed by the police? JDF launches probe into Denham Town incident following the fatal operation. Police Commissioner Major General Anthony Anderson seems certain that the squad was well prepared.
It was an intelligence-driven operation. We had information that there were a number of, some gunmen with weapons, high-powered weapons here.
High-powered weapons like this one seized from the house where 2 cops were fatally wounded and 2 others injured in a hail of bullets in the early morning surprise. So if, as the commissioner puts it, it was an intelligence operation in search of wanted men with high-powered weapons, why wasn't the SWAT team a part of it? And why weren't the cops wearing the appropriate bulletproof vests?
One of them What he got shot below the vest in the pelvic region, and so on. So we will have to go through this in some detail, and when we do, we'll put out something on it.
Retired Deputy Commissioner of Police Mark Shields would not comment on this specific case, but highlighted the importance of wearing the appropriate police gear on assignments.
The reality is that if the intelligence is specifically about high-powered weapons, then there would be a requirement, in my view, in my opinion, in general terms, for a tactical firearms unit to be called in, because they are, not only are they trained properly in terms of tactical situations around buildings or pieces of land or extricating people from motor vehicles, but in addition to that, they also have proper ballistic shields. They may have dogs as well. They'd certainly have, I would hope, body-worn cameras. And they would have the requisite training in order that they could effect an arrest of somebody that is an armed suspect. So all of that is required.
Mr. Shields said a review of the incident could be critical in identifying all the gaps and failures of the operation. And another retired senior officer who asked not to be named said he finds it curious that only 11 men formed the squad for an intelligence-driven operation in search of wanted men with high-powered weapons. And more information has...
So I move him. Make we hear the police himself before him dead. Holness. Make we hear what Holness say, yes, sir. Holness. I'll show you Holness. What Holness there? Holness crime. Holness defense. All right, hear this now. Holness. Make we hear what Holness say.
This week in Jamaica now.
We planned them properly, but it's based on intelligence that we're working with.
Superintendent Leon Clunis speaks to the media a week after the deadly police operation he led in Horizon Park, St. Catherine. Were the police adequately prepared?
They were not caught off guard. There's no indication of that.
They didn't expect that kind of reaction. It's not the kind of thing you anticipate.
We revisit the crime scene. And who is this incident? Clunis told Radio Jamaica's Emily Shields that the operation was properly planned.
We planned them properly, but it's based on intelligence that we're working with. And we had enough persons there. The man just surprised us after we would have done a lot of work in the yard, and we're downstairs.
Damian Hamilton.
You were going to say?
All right.
The man surprised us. Because when a man a shoot, and the man gun a 4, remember more than that there, you know. But the man get away. Even them power. Them nobody take the back and think the man could have come out and get away, you know. One man, you know. One man. It was one man. 11 against 1.
But you are knowing.
All right.
Based on what Holness is saying, claiming that he was properly prepared. First, he's saying that he was properly prepared.
Yes.
And then, if you are properly prepared, so I am asking this question now. If you are properly prepared, right, and you gather intelligence of these men, right, obviously you did not gather the intelligence as it relates to how heavily these men were armed.
It wasn't men, it was one.
So okay, right? So then, so obviously, right, as it relates to that, right, he did not gather that sort of intelligence as it relates to how heavily, right, that person was armed. Because number one, if you're going to go up against, because what that looked like to me, that looked like is an AR-15 assault rifle. Right? That's a very powerful rifle, right? And if you know that someone has, if you get an intelligence that someone has an AR-15, right, in their position, you want to make sure you carry, make sure so you carry the adequate personnel. You're going to make sure that you're properly dressed for that occasion as it relates to the requisite bulletproof vest. You understand? You're going to make sure that you take tactical approach, and then the team that deal with house clearing, right? You have called in the SWAT team. You understand? So under no circumstances that you are going to face someone with an AR-15, right? And you know, say, okay, all right. If you say you've got the intelligence, that means that information would be part of the intelligence gathering. Or what it seems like, okay, they are looking for this guy. They may get intelligence. You understand? Information that this guy is here, is at that location. But they don't know how equipped that guy was, or how many persons were there. We know the say one of them, But we are saying that if you
just say, Byron,
yeah.
Them did say, them say gunmen, with high-powered weapon that are where they can you Google the intelligence. So you prepare for gunmen for buckle then with high-powered, but the tongue will turn out for one with one M16. And him shoot 4, kill 3.
Yes.
And get where? It's a different place when we go kill him. That's for sure you want me to say to the commissioner right now. And by the way, Khalil, me talk to the soldier when them say train ex-military. This youth are living we know people who know him, man. Them they live in Canada. I was not military or not that time. Nothing foolish, it's garbage. Me talk to the one who are ex-military. I mean, clear him up. Him drive taxi. See? Over Portmore. So he was not ex-military. This youth, it was one. It end up, can remember if you plan for men, but you know what them said, them never expect it. So them must expect like whether to cut the youth and kneel him down for you say police. Even if you have a gun, you put it. Man, not really fire shot off a police like this, especially in our house, So them tell you, even Holness say whenever we get surprised because we not expect it. That for sure. So when them go and say them in a confrontation and took out a one man, them just hold him and kill him. You can't know them to stop it. Just stop, eliminate people. This, see when man I really shooter. You see the damage? You see the damage, Byron?
Yeah.
Because bullet not carry high. A man you have gun and you want to kill him and him go up first and lick you. Do one of them can't away and go hide. Do you think them approach the body again and 4 of them just get shot? What do it? Him have time to jump out of the back and leave all the gun and run go about in business. You know have nobody run at the yard, can nobody not go run at the back and say, me go look if my jump. Them now go put themselves up in the way to get bullet and 4 man just get bullet.
No,
you
sir.
see, them a human being. See, and but they never expect it. So when we have put out some case, we see some extrajudicial killing, man open him door, glass to everything else. I shoot out, but not when you look up here, glass on him, not even one bullet. But you don't see him blood stain and like him get a one shot. Where you see Byron, and then try him out on him, with foot and go through him. Now them to stop it. It not help the situation. It will stop. See? Because when a man, the truth is, you better sleep. And you hear police, you gotta jump up, brother. You have any time for God, unless the man that will lay with them. And you see when him retaliate, you see what going because you have to face him do somewhere there, But most of the time when you circle man also say police, the man have no time him. And you catch him and you just have God and kill himself. Government, come on, do something better than this, man. And by the way, where you go with the case? You can't just say, why him kill a man and him kill it. But I buy that. This is extradition killing, it will stop them.
Let me look back.
Let me ask you a question. I'm sorry. Sir Byron, let me ask you a question. Working in the JCF, can you recall if there's a law, legislation passed in Jamaica to govern police to be truthful in their reporting and the statements they make after
yes.
Is there a law?
Basically, that is one of the policemen attributes that the policeman need to state truthfully. Now, if you and it's very serious. If you have a situation where you falsify a report, right? That's a very serious implication for the police. The police can be charged for that.
That's what's been going on with these extrajudicial killings.
Yeah.
Here, false report them all right.
Yeah, man.
That's why I'm asking, is there a law against this?
Yeah. Yeah, and I answer you yes.
There would have to be a law, Pastor Ricky. They are breaking the law.
The commissioner.
Let me just endorse something right now, as we are on the subject of law. Now, when I look at all these killings in Jamaica carried out by the state, as it relates to the personnel working for the Jamaican government, the JCF. Where is the justice for the family members of these slain men? Where is the justice? Because it cannot be that there is no justice for these people. The Constitution requires that these people must get justice when injustice is being done. Now, when you look at the Commissioner of Police, and the day he took office, that's when they killed Romario Sterling. And I've been asking, why has he not shed some light on that incident, as it would, give him some boost in so doing, because that's the inauguration of the Commissioner of Police, to know Google to. But what Google to do was the continuation of the corruption from Google Gaga. And he has also gone further into running off his mouth as it relates to civilian raising them arm at his men, and he's not telling his men not to number 3 civilian. Now, we have a serious problem here. We have a very serious problem here, because these are not the word that a commission should, say to his men. These are not the word.
You see this, so me just get in.
The admission by the security minister that the gunman response was unexpected tell me that many of these confrontations,
I would agree with that.
So-called criminals ended up as extrajudicial killing by the police. Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. When you look at that young man, Andre, I think that was his name, that was in handcuff.
Yes.
And two JCF members, having him in their custody, but he ended up getting 4 gunshot, killed on the spot.
Yes.
Dragged like a ragtag dog, showing the back up of the loose. No, this cannot be justice.
No.
Even the way they deal with the dead bodies is wrong. We're seeing them dragging people. You can't imagine you have your family, man, and police kill your family wrongfully. But then when you look to compound matters work, no matter how rough the road is, them drag the same person. But come on, man. Look what them do with them 3 youth out of Rockfort. Just look on that. That's disgusting. That is disgusting.
You know, build a country and mash it up.
It mash up the country. You understand?
Yeah, that can't
mash up the country. So we no want no little idiot Google Gaga too. Come and shut off him little idiot mouth, because remember, a curry flavor make him reach where him reach. Him not qualified for the job.
Yes.
A curry flavor coming from Owen Ellington. Because the whole of them mix up in all type of bangarangs, Some high extreme criminality. These same set of man where we say we appoint and I call them honorable. They are dishonorable.
Of course.
Very, very dishonorable.
Of course.
Because no ghetto youth not bring in the amount of cocaine what we see. So it look like them bring the cocaine coming at Jamaica. It look like it now become a part of the GSCF. Because I want to know, because I am not, daft when it comes to what I'm seeing happening on the ground. I'm seeing these policemen having no remorse when it comes to killing a Jamaican civilian. It's like they take it like a duck to a water.
Yes.
You understand? They are killers. And they must be under some form of substance to be carrying out this type of brutal killing.
Wicked.
They're under some form of substance.
Yeah, man.
And we will only know if we have what you call now an emergency program where undercover people go in and test these policemen. Randomly test them. I bet you find a lot of cocaine in them system.
Well,
let me just say this real quick, Melton.
Yes. We should time run up, but start the faster we kick out my time because you can be so. Not so. Yes, man. Yes, Pastor.
All right. So I'm gonna make it quick. Jamaica is a country of law that is guided by the Constitution of Jamaica, which is the supreme law of the land.
Yes.
And if we have a commissioner of police and a national security minister who's telling the national security minister is telling the police to shoot and kill, the commissioner of police is lying and says they raised their guns and he trained his officers not to lose, which is a lie. Not all these cases are criminals and police in shootout. The evidence is clear on the videos that we have seen. Many, like the one you just played with our and we have Wallet more. Even the one at the 9 night. When was that? Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday.
Right. These are criminal acts by those who took an oath to protect, to serve, and reassure. And if we can't trust the police to honor that oath, and a commissioner to discipline and those who break the law, and a national security minister who empower the police to do these things, then Jamaica is in crisis.
Yes, in crisis.
What they're doing is unconstitutional. These are Geneva Conventions breaches of the law in terms of crimes against humanity. And the prime minister is just as guilty because he made blunt statements in terms of send them home to meet their maker. Jesus Christ, or God himself, is the only one who has the power to give life. No one on this earth is authorized by the Almighty God to take a life. And so there are breaches of the law in Jamaica. And I believe that the commissioner should resign and be held accountable. I believe that the national security minister should be held accountable. He's a criminal already. We all know that. But this is going to be on his watch as well. And the prime minister should be held accountable for authorizing the police to do these extrajudiciary killing, unaliving of people that are in handcuffs, people that they apprehend or arrested and refuse to bring them before the court as the constitutional say. One last point, the fundamentals of rights and freedom in the Constitution, chapter 3, gives citizens, residents of Jamaica, the freedom to movement, freedom to gather, freedom of speech. They have privacy rights. And when the police breach these rights, I wonder, where are the human rights attorneys in Jamaica? Where are the human rights watchdog group in Jamaica? Where are you're supposed to have connection with international human rights advocates and watchdog group to collaborate and to invite them into Jamaica. Indicum is a joke. They should be abolished. I've never seen with all of these criminal acts of police in the force has held any police officers accountable. And they always say they're investigating, then they come out and give you statistics, how many people got killed by the police. But why are they not held in police to account who breached the law? God bless all the officers who wear the badge with honor. We salute you. But the bad apples, the bad ones that give the police this black eye, they should be weeded out and prosecuted, because you need community policing in Jamaica. There should be a relationship built between the residents and the police officers. This police commissioner at the JCF, they react to what has already happened. And if you're not on a crime scene and you don't have CCTV camera footage, you're going to need the input and the intelligence of human beings on the ground who you can collaborate with and work with. But if you're building a breaking the trust between you and the citizens, then your job is not going to be easy. And this is going to continue, and it needs to stop.
All right, stop. Brothers,
all right.
Yeah, that's running because you know my eat me big. Can people remember me sing for the best of the 8 years? See that? I'm here. Hey, I feel nice, brother. I'll be a nice this next week Saturday. So
none of them criminals they wanna honor them. We ain't loan.
All right. Them have to go sit down, man. We not honor them. Good day,
Blessing to the chat.
Yeah, man. Blessing.
All right,
The Titans know two way about it. 1 a.m.